to do with sushi is do like whiskey pairings, like Japanese whiskeys and stuff. Like they're
Yeah.
yeah. So like that,
Ooh.
like smoky, like so you can kind of like combine that
Smoky
too.
plus smoky.
There's like a bunch of, I mean, I don't know so much about Philly, but in Boston there are places that do like the omakase thing, which is the chef just gives you things that you don't
Yeah.
order, the chef just
Mm.
chooses for you, which is
Mhm.
first of all a very fun way to eat food in general. You're just like, I don't have to make choices, I just put it in my mouth and like it
I'm
or
not the
don't.
fucking
I
chef.
love
He's the
Personally,
expert.
Right.
Personally, I'll say exactly what Matt said. Like personally,
No, I
like
would like that a lot.
I work in a lot of kitchens, and like I've worked in a lot of kitchens, and like yeah, I think the person who cooks the food and is like good at cooking food, if they're good at cooking food,
Mhm.
knows better than I do.
Oh,
Almost all the way
100%.
at the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And especially these are like sushi chefs that have been training.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
like if they're a legit sushi chef, that means that they spent like 3 years just washing rice in a sushi restaurant. Like they didn't get to touch the fish; they just washed rice, right? Before they got to learn how to cook the rice, and they started learning how to season and cook the rice, and then they started learning how to slice fish. Like there's like this whole like hierarchy to it. So by the time they're like a professional sushi chef, they are fucking
They know
pros.
their shit for
They
sure.
really know what they're giving you. So like I mean, it's usually quite expensive to do an omakase, so that's like a special occasion sort of
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah,
But
you need the chef, but like for a good version of that, you need the chef's full attention. So it
Right.
absolutely is justified. Where
Two
it's like you're
things
getting
that
personal
are
service.
two things that are on like the slightly weirder end of like sushi, but they're things that I happen to like, but I think the average person probably doesn't. One of them is salmon skin.
Mm.
So
Oh, I
they
think I
like
could like that. I've seen that like
they
done really
right.
well, and
So they
the
broil
crispiness.
it, and then it's super crispy and like crunchy. If they
Sounds
do it
good.
really well, there's some places that like do it and it's just okay. But if they excuse me, if they do it really well, it's awesome.
Yeah.
The other thing is urchin, which is very hit or miss for people because the
I've
texture
heard.
is
It's
super.
the texture.
It's the texture is very weird for some people, but it
Mhm.
literally tastes like a like a like like a imagine
Nothing.
just
I
like
don't think
an
anything in
egg
the
yolk.
world melts in your mouth the way that urchin does.
Right, it's like egg yolk, but like instead of it being egg, it's just the sea. That's it.
That
That's
sounds
Okay.
very appealing. I don't think
Right.
I've had a. I don't think I've eaten an urchin before. A sea urchin.
I have
You-
twice, and it's
A lot of people have had it and they didn't know what it was. If you've been to a sushi place, it's yellow.
Yep.
It's yellow and I don't want to call it spongy, but it's a
It-
yellow, almost like
I think I would know.
wasabi
It look-
level
I think I
of
would know which
taste.
one it is.
It looks like a nutsack. I'm
'Cause it
sorry.
is.
Yeah,
It looks
that's
like
why.
a
That's why
bright
I
yellow
haven't. I know I
nutsack.
haven't had it. I feel like I would know it because like I know pretty much everything else in sushi. Like if it's an eel, I can tell. If it's a fish, I could tell. Kind of thing. Like I feel like if I had something unidentified, I would know. But that kind of reminds me of weird textures and something I'm trying to get Moot to get into eventually. Now this is pretty advanced level, but like raw oysters, like oyster Rockefeller.
I would do it.
Ooh.
Oysters Rockefeller is
Don't
not.
know
But would
entry
you
level.
enjoy it?
Everyone
question.
enjoys Oysters Rockefeller.
That well.
I would
You'd
say
be surprised.
everyone
Some
would
people
love
can't
it.
get over the texture. Some people get.
on the.
It's not?
It's just raw oyster in the shell.
Oh, I love
Wait, what?
that.
Oysters
So good.
Rockefeller is like
There's the
the least oyster dish that you can do.
I posted a picture of uni in the uni is the sea urchin. I posted that in the food porn channel. So if you want to see it, if you are not familiar, that's what it looks like. And so when I say it looks like a yellow ball sack,
Yeah,
that's
it's a
exactly
nutsack.
what I mean.
It looks like a yellow tongue. Like
Or that, yeah,
badly thrushed tongue.
yep. But it's got like it literally is like okay. Imagine like like it's the texture of like melted butter. It's really it's very unusual, and so that turns a lot of people off. But if you happen to like that kind of that weird textureness, it's fun to try.
I've heard people
Yeah.
talk about the
Yeah,
pop
I
of
have-
caviar, and I do want to try that.
Caviar's good. I haven't had expensive caviar though. I've only had like the mid tier, but there's like the $600 a can shit, and I'm like, I want to know what it tastes like, but I'll never know.
Sometimes they
Like, you know
serve
the-
uni over
the
like
Orange
not
thing.
yeah,
come over.
it's roe.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that texture, which is strange because normally I love like having small things and like just like individually pop.
Yeah, so here is a picture of those orange things that she's
Can't get
talking
over
about.
it.
I'll post that too.
I think
It's
it's
called
blocking me that
Masago.
it's like
Well, no,
Yeah,
that's the
no.
teeny tiny ones are the Masago. There's bigger ones though that I think
okay,
start
this
with
is
an
the actual
I.
row.
The row,
Yeah.
salmon eggs, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think because I know that they're eggs, it's a block that I have a hard time getting.
But you'll
over,
eat a
and
chicken
it's-
egg, like a boiled egg? You'll eat like a boiled egg? Like,
Yeah.
it's fine?
Boiled eggs
Wow.
don't pop though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Runny
Um,
eggs do.
Poached
no,
eggs
But
too.
they're
I
both
like
eggs if you think about it.
popping things like
What
Yeah.
about the
It's like
poached
eating a
eggs that
zit.
come in your ramen? That's
Really?
runny.
Sorry, what did you do into her ramen?
Oh,
The
ramen
No,
poached
the
eggs.
eggs?
egg that comes in your
Oh,
ramen.
like that,
the
like
best part
that,
of the
like
ramen.
Please don't
yeah,
tell me
that
my
fucking. I might.
Remind me not to go get ramen with you in Philly then.
You never know.
I
But-
have a long-standing motto: try anything twice. Once for the novelty, and twice to see
That's
if
really
you
good,
like it.
actually.
Yeah, that's good advice to live by.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Particularly when it comes to food. Unless you
Yes.
die. Then it's very
Yeah,
difficult.
like you wouldn't try killing yourself twice. Well, maybe you would, I guess, if you didn't succeed.
Oh, yeah. But also, yeah, like if it's poisonous, don't do that again.
Right.
Or,
Fun.
like,
I
the
love
bad
the
things, like
differentiation
pain.
between venomous and poisonous. Venomous is if
Yes,
it bites you
I do
and
it
you
every time.
die, then you
Versus you
are
bite it.
versus you bite it. That's so smart. I love that differentiation.
Yeah, and I'm a nerd about that because I'm a nerd about words, and I don't actually care that much. But whenever I hear someone say poisonous or like hear specifically TV, I don't care when like in a conversation. I don't give a shit. But like if I hear it on TV, if I hear like a documentary or something or whatever the fuck else, that's like supposed to be somewhat accurate. Say poison instead of venomous, I get a little nerdy about it.
Speaking of things that are fucked up,
Blowfish
Mhm.
is
Blowfish,
is-
I want to try so bad, but I'm gonna die when I do it. I know I have such bad luck. I'm gonna die when I do it. I know that the chef's gonna fuck up somehow. I'm just, but you know, every place that serves blowfish, fun restaurant fact, is required to like. I'm pretty sure have the antitoxin on hand just in case.
that
Correct.
sounds reasonable.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
and I think they also have to be like trained and licensed.
Yeah, it's a specific, yeah, exactly, a specific like specific thing too.
What?
Um,
You guys ever seen the video of the pufferfish eating the carrot?
What?
no, but I would like to.
I didn't know
Oh, it
pufferfish
goes- it
could eat
gets-
solid food.
It goes from a cute to bad because then they cut it. But they mainly
Oh,
just are like,
oh.
look at how hard it bites, and they feed it a carrot, and it starts biting at it, and then they chop.
Why?
Wait,
like,
a carrot or
besides
I
to
don't
eat it, the fish, I imagine. But why did they bother feeding it the carrot? Does that help with like
no,
the
I guess it's just
preparation?
to show its bite, but it does a funny sound. It goes like, "Bleh."
That's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
I'd probably make a
I'm
funny
gonna
sound like a
send
cut in half
only the
too. I'm
good
not gonna lie.
part.
Oog, why are we not playing in the donut world?
Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of,
Ring World. I am a bit of a science nerd. I'm a bit of a space nerd. I think ring worlds are cool because they can hypothetically exist. That's like hasn't been disproven yet. And the idea of a ring world is interesting to me.
Yeah,
As
but why
are
are we not on the ring? Like, why? If you think it's so interesting, why aren't we just there?
well, maybe one day we will be. I've actually thought about that, and like the cool thing about introducing this solar system is that it expands our things. I mean, actually it doesn't because we had planar travel before, which is infinitely more distance, but it does add some little bit of nuances, like those.
Also, is there a giant crater at the top of our planet?
There sure is on the North Pole that no one's ever been to,
That's sick.
player-wise.
That's pretty
And what
cool.
that is, fuck you. That's what. You'll have to go there and find out. But yeah.
Hey guys, I have a secret backstory thing where
I'm
I'm
from
gonna
the
go
North
to the
Pole.
North Pole.
Turns out my character is the North Pole in disguise. Big reveal, I know.
You need to
Big
return
reveal.
me. This whole thing has been one of those missions in like
It's a
Skyrim
Santa
where you
thing, you wouldn't get it. I'm a race of Santa people.
Well, I'm gonna grab another beer and then we'll get into this, shall we?
sounds good.
couldn't really tell what you guys were talking about aside from like fish. So I was like, yep, fish. I don't know why.
No, this
Wednesday is like the only day.
Fish.
Hot fish. Wednesday, for some reason, is the only day I ever feel motivated to clean. I don't know why.
At least it happens one day during the week.
Well, and then it's just like, oh yes, D&D.
I can stop cleaning now. I'll get back to it next Wednesday. Ah, shit. D&D then too.
Yep.
I have learned when the motivation strikes, you gotta run with it, because otherwise, this unmedicated ass is just never gonna clean. Ever.
How about a moment for yogurt? Stand-up yogurt. As an ingredient in cooking, it adds a light creaminess, a perfect amount of fat, and a signature acidity.
Fellow
unlike that of
procrastinator.
lemon or vinegar. If you take
Well,
a half
like
cup of
my
plain,
kitchen
full
has
Greek
been
yogurt,
kind of in a
top it with
perpetual
two
mess.
tablespoons of a good quality tandoori masala
I
spice,
You
finally
consider
have
burning it down.
of salt.
That's
It
what
makes
I
for a
always think it
sensational
would be faster.
three-ingredient
at
chicken
least
marinade.
3 times
That
a week for the
includes
last
salt in the
2 or 3
ingredient
months.
column. Unheard of. As with all spice blends, you could make your own tandoori masala.
My
at
house is
home,
finally
but I like to
painted
buy mine
for the
from
first
Spice
time
Mala
in
because they are
like
ground
6
to
years.
order
Well, since
from
the
Outside
house
or
is built.
inside?
all you've got to do now is
Inside.
Oh, even better. That's another thing. People that invest like outside their house paint, like you're never gonna see it. That's for everybody else. Waste of money, really. You should let the outside of your house deteriorate.
And all of the flooring, we got new floors. We removed all the carpet. Now we have wood floors, except for in
Way
my
better.
well, they're wood floors, but they're hard. Anyway.
Better than carpet because especially with pets, like it's just not worth.
Well,
Rugs are the superior way if you want something textile on your feet.
well, the thing is about the pets is that it is very hard on their toesies. They don't have anything for their grippers.
Alright, Elden Ring is full of lore, and
My
surprisingly
dog
enough,
lives on
the main
stone
bosses
floor
are just
like
one
a
big
cave.
family, and a very weird one.
Well,
at that.
he's
look
doing.
at
He's
all the
trimming his
characters that are the
toenails
literal
down
families
for
of
him.
Queen America.
It's perfect.
By the way, what I consider the main bosses
Well,
are the
that's
ones
what.
that drop
Yeah, but
remembrances. Seems fair enough.
these sleek
Within the
floors,
world of Elden Ring,
you know,
we hear
whenever
these
I
outer
toss the ball
gods,
for
faceless,
Gizmo, he
mysterious
just
figures
goes
far more powerful than any
all
demigod
over the
or
My
place.
dog
god.
does the same thing.
One of the outer gods
He's
is
getting
called the
used
Greater
to it though.
Will,
He's
and is
learning how to like
responsible for
adjust
summoning a
with the
golden star
grip.
bearing
He's
a
been here
beast,
for a
which
while
would later
now.
become the Elden
Yeah.
Ring.
There's actually a
Queen
really long
America would
hallway,
be the vessel
like
for
right
this Elden
here,
Ring, as it exists within
where
our own
I'm
body.
pointing,
The Elden Beast
in
would
my
be
apartment,
vassal
where
for the
like
outer
it's
god,
just a
called the
long
Greater Will,
hallway that
meaning
goes
it
to the
would
living
carry out
room
its
and the
wishes.
kitchen area and
The
the
Elden
other room.
Beast is also the
And,
living embodiment of the Elden Ring, and is why when
my
Marika
dog
and
Boomer, he
Radagon die,
loves, he
it
just
emerges
loves
to fight
chasing
you.
toys down
But
this
what's going on with
hallway. Loves
Radagon
to
and
throw
Marika being the
toys,
same
but
person?
when he runs,
The
it's
game
very
literally tells you
Scooby-Doo,
this,
where
but it's unknown if
he'll
they
be
used
in
to
the same
separate
spot,
people
and he'll
that
have
fuse
to
into
like
one, or
do
have
the
always had
animation a
same
few
body.
times
All we do
before he
know is that
actually
when they
gets
are the same
going,
person, they
and
have
then he
different
skids
personalities,
away.
wills, and
Yeah, he'll
genders.
just do the.
As in the cutscene, we can see Marika turn
and then he
into
goes.
Radagon.
It's really
But
cute.
well before that, Radagon was involved in a battle
one of the
against
things
the
that I love
carrying
about
Queen Renala.
Gizmo
But with
is
a twist of fate,
if
they
you
managed
hold
to
the
fall
ball
in love.
up, he gets really impatient and he starts doing little tippy taps on his feet. He's just like and he just wants to go, but he doesn't want to have the ball out of his sight.
Yeah. You should see Matt's dog. I don't know if it's happened in this game yet, but
Yeah,
it's
the
happened in some of our other
jumper.
games where he just jumps. He'll just be
He's a
there
bouncy
bouncing
boy.
on the side.
Go.
He likes the
I
camera, or
want
he
him
likes
in
the
here.
he likes to
He
follow the mouse,
guaranteed-
doesn't he? That's what it is. He likes
Yeah.
to chase the mouse cursor.
He likes
Yeah, I
when
think
things
we saw it.
move and happen on the computer screen. I think I've told this story, but years back, I played Hearthstone, and he loved fucking Hearthstone. It's his favorite. Whenever Hearthstone Battlegrounds came out, and it's like
Oh.
every time it's your turn, and the cards like like they dash across the screen to smash into each other, and they make like little particle booms. Yeah, he would flip
That's
his
his
lid. He was so fucking happy.
Oh, what if you get him a little ottoman to?
The two married
So
at
he
the
can
Church of
see the
Vows,
screen.
where both
So
their
he
families
can
were
sit up
enslaved.
there.
Yeah.
With
No,
Renala,
he likes to
Radagon would
bounce.
study sorcery, and
He's
would have 3 kids
bouncing.
Don't
named
take his
Ricky,
bounces
He
away
can
from him.
jump very high.
Ottoman
It's
Dawn,
implies
Ronnie,
him
and
staying
Rykard.
still. He
When
doesn't
Radagon
stay
heard the
still.
news that Godfrey was exiled from the lands between,
He might have
he
a
left
heart. He's like a
Renala and gifted her
hummingbird.
the Amber Egg.
No.
Radagon would go on to marry Marika.
He
As to
gotta
why
go.
he left,
Gotta
we
move.
still
Gotta
don't
go.
know.
Gotta bounce.
This
Gotta
marriage,
go
though,
up,
would make
up,
him the
east,
second
up,
Elden
up.
Lord, after
That's the
Godfrey.
dog.
Also, the fact that he married
could
himself
let him in here
is
'cause the girlfriend's
weird,
working,
but
but-
just roll with it.
Maybe
This
a
departure would leave
vertical
Renala
boy.
devastated, and is part of the reason why we find her in the
I
state
have
that she's
to
in. Now with Marika, Radagon
Our-
would have
our
two
dog,
cursed kids, Mikola and Melania. On the night of the Black Knives, orchestrated by
his
Ronnie,
nails,
a
'cause
group of
Every time I
assassins
hear your
would go
dog's
on to
name, it
murder
makes me
Marika's
laugh,
son,
and I'm
Godwin the
glad to
Golden,
hear it again.
which we can find his
Yeah.
body during Fia's questline.
It's so cute.
Sometime after this,
As soon
Marika
as I
would
saw
destroy
him, I was
the
like,
Elden
that's
Ring.
a Dougal.
For
That's a
Radagon, he would
Dougal.
attempt to
Sure.
repair it, although he failed.
But yeah, I have
This
them
event
with
would be
nails
known as the Shattering
because
and
every
would start a
time they're
bloody
long
scrimmage
enough
of the
to-
demigods trying to acquire shards of the Elden Ring. Although by destroying the ring and
That
defying the
sound,
Greater
I just-
Will,
I can't
Queen
stand
Marika
that
would be
sound.
The
imprisoned
click
within
clack,
the Earth
like the
Tree
click clack,
and
yeah,
click,
Radagon.
yeah,
thing on
yeah.
the-
As we
Yeah.
know, Queen Marika is the ruler of the lands between. But to
Yeah,
achieve that
I
role,
actually
you
have
must
learned to
be
like
meaning you
discern
will
the
listen to
differences
God.
between the
Have
click
a
clacks,
consort, which is
between
just
the
a
dogs
spouse,
in my house.
and a
Like
shadow.
I can hear,
They both
I know
defend
which
that
click clack
Imperium.
is which now.
And before Marika met
based on
Radagon, Godfrey was
the,
her
the
consort.
cadence. I don't know what it
By
is.
being the spouse to
like
that
my
ruler,
dog, I
this
think
made
he
him
has
the
like a
first Elden
thicker
Lord.
paw or
Previously to
thicker
that title, he
nails or
was
something
known
because
as
they
a
make like a
barbaric warrior
thicker
who had a ceaseless
noise
lust
to
for
him.
battle.
It's more of a
Although it
bassy
needed to be suppressed, so we
click
took
clack.
the beast Serash upon
I
his
can
back.
see that, 'cause, like, with
Now
a
fitted to
bigger
be
dog,
Lord,
you
he and Marika would
probably
have three
have bigger
kids,
nails,
Mog,
too.
Morgoth,
Yeah,
and
he's a
Godwin.
wide boy.
As the Elden Lord, he led a war
Don't know
against
where he
the
is,
fire
though.
giants. The remnants of that battle can be seen on the mountaintops of the giants, where we can also
He
fight a
fear.
survivor
Every
of
now
the
and then,
opposing
Andrew will
side.
bring my
Although
attention
after
to,
facing the
like, "Oh,
Stormlord, the sparks in his
this
eyes would
clickety-clack
fade, making him
are going-
presumably useless
I
to
was
Queen
living
Marika,
in-
which resulted in his exile from the lands
fucking-
between. This would also
Bliss.
cause the separation of
Yeah.
Radagon and Renala's marriage.
Blissful obliviousness,
Now exiled, Godfrey
and
would take
now
on the
that's
name
all
Horalu,
I can
completely
hear.
That's
abandoning
all
any
here
of
is
his
the
previous
click-clack.
ties, as
Go
well as
for
the line that
comfy.
suppressed his rage. During this time, he would have a kid named Nefeli Lu, although that isn't fully confirmed. She would eventually be
well,
left in the care
Drunkenness
of
is
Sir
brought
Gideon
to you by
Offnigger.
12-year-old Shive Regal from 1981.
That's badass. Mine's Voodoo Ranger, sponsored.
Fucking IPAs, buddy.
They have a new flavor called
Box of
Fruit
wine.
Force. It's 9.5%. Really a hard hitter for those alcoholics out there. Would definitely recommend you getting your brew in. Hell yeah,
My-
ride the
My
Ranger.
weed of choice
Wednesday,
is
Wednesday, Wednesday.
Mega Pearls.
God, and I'll just be open. I'm a stoner too, but like we're
Oh, I couldn't tell.
my state. I'm in Pennsylvania. Thank you. It's the memory thing. The my state doesn't have a legal yet, but New Jersey does, and I'm like I'm in Philly, so I'm like right across the bridge, just right there.
It's not
But how are
legal
I'm just curious. I'm just
all
cu-
across the
it's
border?
not no God.
No.
Yeah, I know we're primitive compared to Canadians who have it everywhere, but there's only like 1 million of you, so we have to like figure things out. But
I mean, it's not-
We have
it's
these
very
things
silly.
You just have to
arguments.
figure out the people in power who can listen to science. That would be just
Yeah.
peachy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot. I could go on
Science
rants for hours.
In politics?
We'll
Fuck
never
sure-
get to the game.
The point of the question was before we get to the game
politics
for
is not
sure.
about proof.
I wanted
about
to
religion.
know for Oregon prices because I know Oregon's had like legal weed for a long time at this point.
Couple years.
Uh,
This is like
what-
like.
Oh,
What's your price
Context.
for an ounce? Just curious.
not like
Oh
any
fuck! I don't know shit about. I don't buy any bud, so I only
Damn.
I only have edibles. I mean,
How much is a pack of edibles? I actually know the conversion rate because of my local store.
well, okay. I will let you know. Oregon is one of the most
Now, after the
expensive
Shattering
states in the
War,
country to
Godfrey
live
would
in.
come back to the
So
lands between.
prices
Yeah,
are
but
kind
buy
of
weed
high
then?
in
Is
general.
that true?
This is
Same.
why we fight him
The
first as
weed,
more royal
so
salt, then when he
Mega
starts to get
Pearl,
annoyed, as
this
his barbaric
is
tarnished self.
100 milligrams of
Let's now talk about
THC.
what happened to the race that Godfrey faced in battle.
and it's
by the way,
like
if you like the video, subscribe. It does help out a
$8.50
lot.
to $9
The fire giants
for
possess
one of
the Flame
these,
of Ruin,
and
which
this
holds
can
the
last
power to burn the
me
Earth
like
tree.
4 weeks
This
because
was
I
a direct
don't get
threat
Those are
high.
to
edibles
America
or those
and her
are oil?
kingdom, so she
This is
appointed
edible,
Godfrey
like
to lead a
it's
war
a-
against them. Although their
it's a
opponents wouldn't go down
fucking
without a fight,
gummy-
and within each giant, the fell god
A
lurked
pretty
within.
thick gummy
The
that
fell
I
god,
take
as
little
described
chunks
by the
out of.
firemonk armor, is an ancient
Oh,
god of
that's
the flame.
interesting.
During this
That's
war,
not
the
how
giants
that's
borrowed
not
from
how
the
they
power
do
of
it
the
over
fell
here on
god,
the East
except
Coast.
they were no
Okay.
match
They
for
give like
Godfrey
little
in the
kid.
Knights of
All we
War,
have right
so
now
they were
is like
defeated.
little
The
candies,
outcome, as we can see, is
the
quite
little
Yeah.
different.
individual gummies.
Upon victory, Marika
Yeah,
would
so-
discover that
so
the
these
flames within the
are-
forge
so,
could never be extinguished.
You just
She
get
would
like a
then curse this
ball
fire
of
giant to
THC that
tend
you
to the
just
flame
chew
for
on.
eternity.
That's fun.
From what we know about the fell god,
Yeah,
we
I
can now
mean,
assume
it's
in
like
the second
this
phase,
one's
the fire giant
blackberry
was
flavored.
sacrificing a piece of himself to awaken
Well,
this
so it
god
can be
within.
THC.
And yes,
they
that
got
is
the
the god,
CBN or
as the
CBD
armor
ones.
shield
They got all
depicting
sorts
him
of
are very
different
similar.
kinds, all
But
flavors.
let's take a step back
If
and
you get the
discuss
ones
Radagon's wife.
that are
Renala in her
individually
youth was a
like
powerful
already already
champion who
pre-cut
charmed the academy
or
with her lunar
pre-done,
magic,
they're a little more
eventually becoming the
expensive
master of Rayleigh
because
Lucaria. As you know, she would face Radagon in battle.
the distribution
fall in
is
love,
more
give birth
accurate.
to Radon,
Each
Rykard,
one
and
has to
would
be 5
ultimately be left
milligrams
by Radagon,
each.
with the last remembrance of
This
the
one is
relationship
100
being the
milligrams in
amber gifted
total,
to her.
but this
along
section
with
could
the
be
death of
like
Radon
15,
Rani,
and
who killed
this
her physical
section
self,
could be
drove
like
her to insanity.
6.
she'd become obsessed
Yeah.
with rebirth,
So
trying to perfect it.
it's not as
Although
precise.
children
So
being
you eat
born
the whole
would be
thing as
frail and
once,
short-lived,
at once to be
which
sure
you
that
can
If
you
see
I
get
as
ate
the
the
this
full
whole
effect.
thing,
forms.
I would not
As
be
to
able to
Renala's
talk
second
for the
phase,
rest of the
you don't
night.
actually fight her. Ronnie wished to protect her
Oh,
crazy
you're
A
mother.
right.
double
and make this
dog
spell as a
dare
summoner.
you?
The
No
person
wait, I
fighting is no more than
triple
a magic
dog
holder.
dare
And
you.
there actually is remedies
Oh
for
my
Ronnie,
god, don't
such as
fucking do
summons,
it.
which Ronnie's the character that gives you the summon bell.
Is
Yeah,
that
It's
no,
crazy
right?
to
I
think
would
because
likely
of the physical
vomit
difference.
tonight
The
if I were to
Starscourge
eat this whole
Radahn
thing.
is the
I've
son of
never
Radagon
vomited
and
from weed,
Renala.
but I know people
His
that
red hair
have,
was
and like
inherited from his father,
I think
although
they're a
his armor
different
wore the design
species
of a lion
because
to
I've
symbolize
done a
Godfrey.
lot of drugs and
Radahn
I
at a young
haven't
age grew
vomited
quickly,
from those
and
drugs.
with the absolutely
I will say,
devastating
I'm
knowledge
pretty
that
sure
he
most
wouldn't be able
people
to ride his
do
horse because of his
underestimate
tremendous size, Radahn decided to learn
what like legal standards for weed will do, because like that means that all this shit's got to be real high quality, and it's all got to be
maybe. But we're gonna get
During
into
deep
it
sleep,
now.
recovering
As
from
I
her battle
start
with
the
Radahn,
recap.
Mog managed to
Last time, we continued our delve of Castle
I'm back.
Borlabal, where within a powerful dwarven artifact known as the Collar of Eternal Friendship, in its common translation, is said to be located. While the upper levels seemed to involve a conflict between kobolds and trogs, both of which had seemingly been chased to the surface by whatever dwelt below, the dwellers below, in this case, turned out to be demonic servants of Zalramaz, whom have seemingly occupied this layer of the fortress. This floor contains a series of vaults that hold magical items as incentivizers for the dwarves that once inhabited the fortress. In addition, there's a mysterious dwarven device that allegedly can create new magical items from scratch in exchange for 5 fire opals. The only downside is it is a random item with no sure way of knowing exactly what you will get. But the idea of an illustrious luck blade that could even grant a wish was on offer. 4 directions awaited investigation. First, the Temple of Thotham was investigated, where within we found 2 warlocks of Zalramaz astride powerful void dragons, reinforced with a squadron of knights who were attempting to penetrate the temple's vault. A battle took place between the servants and our still nameless band of adventurers. I think about that a lot when I write recaps, by the way. Is like, I can call you the group, I can call you the band, I can call you the generic term. Still no name. I don't know. There's another rant. I don't know what it is about like D&D parties and picking a party name, but like that's like the hardest challenge for any group is picking a party name. It's very fun to see. But here, after some heated conversations and sufficient blame was thrown around, the band headed onwards. See, look, there's the band. I told you, I got synonyms. Grief and headed onwards with grief and fear of what. That's not English. I wrote that. That's not English. Yeah, that's not. I'm gonna skip past that. That's not a. I can't translate it. I really can't. You guys were upset and a little in mourning of the death of Nephthys as you headed back to the passage, back to the hub of the fortress. The journey back was a relatively quiet one, and eventually the group began to trek towards the Nutrifungus Dome, not before being interrupted by something quite miraculous. The man they had just seen turn to ash not minutes before, standing before them, changed. A new form, with hair made of flame and celestial armor adorning his body, his ethereal arm that had expanded to form a translucent wing on his back. Nessus had seemingly returned. After this event was lightly discussed, the group proceeded towards the dome, where they found powerful abyssal vines that could only be cut with a weapon forged from the abyss. Heading then to the forge, where they hoped to find such a blade, they discovered demons led by a Scandarig, more commonly known as a forge demon. A creature obsessed with its craft, it paid little attention to intruders, until they began to interfere with the work he attempted to do. Slaying many of the fiendish minions bought enough time for the newly returned cleric to send the demon back to the abyss. The fight was over for now, and the area had just been looted, including a strange axe wielded by the demon that had seemingly bonded itself with Opal. And here is where we pick back up. In the great forge of Castle Borlabal, many loots have been looted, the demon has disappeared, and as have the remains of all of its servants, that besides the Hellhounds remained. But the others, they've gone. We return back into this hot forge, the heat starting to get to you, and it is in your hands once more to decide where exactly You will be heading now.
Oog, were there any fire opals found in this, or that can be found in this room?
Rest. Is there any secret? Rest did find a few. Well, I probably shouldn't say that meta-wise. You, as players, you know that Resta found some. As characters,
Oh, I did not
Resta.
even remember that. Oh, okay.
It wasn't talked about very much. Resta made up. I think it was at the very end of the session.
Oh, I might have dipped right before that happened.
Yeah. Oh, true.
I guess Resta will ask Opal. It's like, hey, do you have like a leftover fire opal? Could I borrow that? Or pay you back?
How many do you have?
Well, I found 4. I just need 1, and I want to try the roulette. See what we get. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I know. You just really like balls. You just love balls
I
in
do
your
not.
mouth, buddy. Oh, used them all. Alright. That fire opal mine would be pretty nice, but I don't think we'll need it right now. Forge is open. We got the thing, so we could cut open that barrier. Do we just want to?
How is everybody doing?
I'm
doing great. Thanks for asking.
I'm so great. I feel
I'm
great.
barely
I
injured.
can't
In
tell
fact,
that's true.
I think this is just a warm up. You all are looking a little rough, but you know, you gave me shit for not keeping up. I'm gonna give you shit for not keeping up.
Me?
Injured, barely injured. What am I talking about? Badly injured. Come on. You guys
gonna
got to
give
defend
me
yourselves
shit?
better out there. I'm just being constructive. You guys got to defend yourselves better out there if we're gonna hope to survive all this.
We do
You're gonna
just
give
need
me
to do
shit?
better.
Okay.
Let me look at you. Where are you? Way down there.
You're gonna give
You
me
look pretty
shit?
bad. You look pretty badly injured yourself.
Yeah, he fucked my shit right up. But I'm still
Not
here.
recently.
I
It
don't
was
have a thing.
recently.
It was like a minute ago.
More like 2
Anyway.
minutes ago, which is not recent.
Does anyone have a healer skin? I can try to patch people up.
Oh,
But just before you do that, I'm going to kiss a beacon of hope.
Cool.
I'm not.
gonna-
Very generous.
And then maybe, I don't know.
Oh, you can
Oh,
just delete
right.
that. I actually still have it on my sheet.
Yes, I do. Okay, good.
Oh no, sorry. I meant Resta. Resta was trying to send me something.
I also
I
have
was
this
talking to
one.
myself too. I forgot to hit into my prepared
Oh.
spells, so I was worried for a minute that I was casting things willy nilly.
Whoa.
Okay. Now that Resta or Nefsis has some healers kits, I actually took the healer feat, so I can heal people up.
Oh.
Whoa.
Did anybody else notice something about that weird tall rock over there? And I'm gonna head over to the rock. I'm not feeling too bad.
1d6 plus 4 plus the max number of hit dice, so they're level.
Oog,
Mhm.
would you say that Opal would be able to identify the shape of the top of this rock?
So with being in I think there's
Yes,
a 22 healing.
absolutely. The scanning
Yeah.
would give an
Yeah.
accurate identification of the carvings here, and the top part is carved to be a
Doesn't it
triangle
really?
face.
It sort of looks like an anvil, like the top of an
Does.
anvil.
It does.
Can is there anything I can discern from this rock that would suggest that it has some importance beyond just like a generic? Like, is this just like the shape of the rock, or is this actually important? Especially given that it's next to this weird like statue of a
Make
forge.
an investigation check.
Can somebody come help me take a look at this, because I don't necessarily trust myself to find what I'm looking for here.
Oh, yeah, I'll help you. I'll limp over. I'm crispy. Fried, some would say.
The purple one. Where
And
are you
I'm going
going?
to describe to Marana what I'm talking about. Look at the shape of this thing. It's like the anvil, like that, like, and it's next to this guy. You know Dorvish.
Oh,
Do you think that there's anything about this that's interesting? And I would like to give an assist to Marana to investigate this
Yeah.
for importance.
Oh, can I do a little bit of that with the bullet?
oh my gosh.
The advanced part made it double the healing when you use it as a treat wounds action. I'm pretty sure that was the main difference.
Can I do that with my healer's feet?
No, maybe.
Okay,
I
then
don't
I
know.
think it's
haven't
worse than
decided
my
yet.
healer's feet.
Mhm.
So I will never use them.
Yeah, if
Well,
I mean,
we'll
if
talk about it
because
later, fucker.
it-
That's fine.
and
I'm fine with that.
that would be 44 healing, and that would be pretty sweet.
What did you tell me to roll? Or did you tell me to roll?
Oh, like investigation. At advantage because I'm assisting you. You are a badass.
Oh, yeah. Also, I have guidance. Wait.
Oh, wait.
Wait, did you guide me or did you guide someone else?
You.
I guided you. Also, I healed you a
30,
little bit, but it should be max healing.
Yes, I do another. Oh wow, you rolled
30 is the
terribly.
total?
Yep.
Roll, add another 7 to your healing, and on.
Oh, sorry, that would be on Rana.
Oh.
Other way.
Looking around here, you don't notice anything notable about this particular structure. This seems to be more of a decorative slash defensive structure. It's hard to fully tell, considering a lot of this is in ruin. As you see, like, these stairs have kind of like fallen apart. It's hard to tell what the exact purpose of this was, but you can safely confirm that it is not a giant anvil. But what you do notice, however, something that was pretty easy to overlook, is that within the sockets of the statue of Thotum, for the belts and the eyes, there are fire opals inlaid beneath that you could theoretically pry out. There's about 4 of them in total.
Gimme.
Would this?
You would be
hold on, wait,
desecrating a
before you-
sculpture of
before
Thotum,
you
though.
do. Wait, yeah, I was gonna say, is the desecrating of sculptures frowned upon in Autumn's?
As much as it would be in any non-Shalenite culture, which Shalen's the big, like, beauty, art, god, statue shit for deities, which is, it's fairly blasphemous.
Right. I think, Marana, if we were to take these now, it would be inappropriate. But if we were to use these in either the protection or the forging of magical artifacts, that would be less heinous. So I say we leave these where they are for now. As much as I would like to be able to use them to get magical items out of the things, that seems like a grievous misuse of this power.
Do you think there's like fire opals under the lava?
Almost certainly. But they're
mean-
probably I don't know what the heat resistance of fire opals are. I wasn't really that good at the studying part of
It's a fire opal.
right, but not a magma opal. There's a very big difference there. Magma is a whole other like when you've noticed when you get burned, you take some damage. When you get magma'd, you die.
You take more.
I think
Very sticky. You're correct about that.
Yeah. So let's not. All right, we can. If we are short on what we will need to actually graft this thing to the, whatever the tane, then maybe we then maybe we can use these to good effect rather than for personal gain. That makes sense.
Scylla kind of overhears this and walks over to Ezekiel. Hey,
Yeah.
could I talk to you, perhaps over there-ish? Like over there? I think there's something interesting.
We'll be back.
Okay.
And while this is happening, we'll make our way back to the main group as well.
Absolutely. She kind of walks over to the entrance, what looks like of a little mine shaft that's kind of dug into the wall here.
The what?
There's a little auxiliary mine shaft dug here for whatever purpose. It's a little. It's
Are we
a little
supposed to be able to see that?
Yes.
Oh. Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah, Resta and I were over here looking at ingots, I think, at one point.
Okay,
Back
that's
by the walls. But you do see like a little mine shaft kind of going deeper in there. But as she comes over here and like, there might be something of use in there. Who knows? But more importantly, your friend talking about not using the fire opals in that statue. They're not doing any good there. I don't really see what purpose we have in leaving them. I mean, maybe it's their god or whatever, but you and I both know the gods don't mean jack shit.
Wait, maybe I misunderstood something. One of them saying to leave stuff here.
I got pretty peculiar ears, and I heard them talking about there's some fire opals in this statue over here, and they want to leave them.
Why?
Religious importance.
Do you think they're worth using?
They're worth
You need
using
them
in the
for
sense that we
smithing?
can put it in that dwarven fucking magic item maker, that's for sure. Anything that comes out of that is sure to help us killing the Green Mother.
I thought all we needed was the collar.
Oh, all we need for a shot is the collar. All we need to maximize our chances is anything we can get.
I mean, I could ask. Why don't you say something?
You've known these folks longer than I have. I'm sure you know the better angle to approach it from.
Was it Opal?
Yeah, all those folks that went up to this upper ground heard him talking about it.
Yeah. Out of everyone here, Opal gets it.
All right,
So just
that's all I need. If we're gonna let her leave these assets behind, that will do.
if Opal or Nefsis is the one that's deciding it, I trust their judgment. They know more about it than I do. And I don't think either of them would do something to endanger the group again.
They did it once, is what that again implies, right?
Yeah.
And you're that sure they won't do it again?
I was betrayed by my people once.
I'm not exactly your people, Zekian.
Yeah, I was betrayed by my own family. Point is, just because something happens once doesn't mean it'll happen again. It means it's a learning experience. Opal had to make the mistake to know it was a mistake. They're both kind of bullheaded.
No, it's...
But if you can speak to anyone candidly, it's Opal.
All right. And she starts to walk off.
Take a peek! Take a peek down the tunnel! Sorry, I'm not there.
She kind of wanders over to you, Opal. Ah! Hey!
Hi, Scylla. What's going on?
So, just gonna kind of be frank here. Overheard you talking about those opals, those fire opals, conveniently enough, you know, opal. Anyways. Gonna leave them behind, are you?
Yeah.
But, like, correct me if I'm wrong. We're just one fire opal short of perhaps having a wish.
Sure. Okay, I do understand that concern.
And
I
you
do.
understand the concerns of the general situation.
Yes.
Reconfirm it.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
could all die without
Yes.
that wish.
May I
Right.
interrupt, Cylin?
Hey,
talking
by
aloud.
all means.
There is a mine filled with them that doesn't require us to commit
Well,
sacrilege against
There's a
opals.
sign
there's a
written by the
sign- yeah,
dwarves
I agree
that
with
have
Scylla
long
on
since
this
been
one.
gone.
There's a possibility that mine is dry. We don't know. We haven't been in there. But
That's true.
Scylla, point taken. I understand. The reason, our primary objective here is to get the collar. If we can get the collar, we can graft it to the Tane. Then, you know, it may be that we need those fire opals in order to achieve that. I genuinely do not know.
That's fair. But consider
But
this.
If
What
we
if
take it now and we
perhaps
put it into the wish machine, and then we end up needing those fire opals later, when we return to the forge where you do whatever work it is that you'll have to do to graft this to the thing, I would hate to have wasted it then. We can always use it later to obtain a wish if it is inaccessible now.
Is it a waste if it saves our lives?
No, not in the slightest.
Well, what then? I will hang on to further proposal. What would happen if, say, we needed whatever we drew from this magical item to survive? What then?
That's a great question, and to be perfectly honest with you, I do not know the answer. What I do know, however, is that we currently are in the domain of Thoughtum.
Oh, that's sweet. That's very cute. I'm sorry to tell you, but your little domain of Thoughtum has been occupied by demons. I don't think it belongs to him anymore.
That is all well and good. The demons may be occupying. The demons may be occupying the realm of Thoughtum, but does that not make it any less the right of Thoughtum?
She looks around. Tell me, and she kicks one of the only remaining corpses here of this giant hellhound. Did Thoughtum slay this, or was it you and I?
I'm not a pious man, or woman, or cat.
That's true.
You would be correct. You are not a pious man.
Yeah. I am neither pious nor man. Happy International Women's Day, by the way, Scylla.
Thank you.
But someone perhaps more religious than you or I might say that the gods do work in mysterious ways.
The gods.
And
the gods aren't mysterious at all. You fucking inhabitants of the prime material always say this. The gods are fucking children. They pretend they know what's going on. But if they really knew, do you think the first world would exist?
Can I make a roll real quick?
Sure. What's the context?
Strike.
No,
and then throw her ass in the lava.
Would you consider? I think this would be intelligence, which is not something I'm great at, but I'm going to roll it anyway. Okay, that's really good. I'm going to say what I was going to think.
I have no idea what this is for.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
go
fine.
for it.
the only way children learn is through experimentation.
So you're suggesting we let the gods experiment with our very lives?
Would our lives be here if it wasn't for them in the first place?
Is
I was
that
gonna say
relevant?
they literally have all this is a thing because they experimented, but
Is that relevant? Just
Have you heard
because
of-
I create something, does that mean by some divine right, it's my toy? It's my thing to play with, no matter how complex that thing might be?
Maybe not by divine right, but
What else are you
listen,
suggesting?
the point being, Dylan, is that we have a job to do, and
The point
taking
being
these
is the
fire
gods
opals
don't give a
isn't gonna
damn about
change-
me or you, so you need to stop relying on them for help. You need to start relying on yourself.
I'm sorry.
I respect you very much, but I'm going to ask you to take a step and take a breath. Because if, as you say, we don't have to rely on the gods to provide our future.
How does it feel to be the favored children? Just curious. The ones that weren't forgotten. The ones that weren't left behind. The ones that weren't left to the whims of the eldest. Some fucking barons who took over the land because the gods were too lazy to govern their own land. To say that our world wasn't good enough, so they made yours. Our world didn't meet their standards. Yours, I guess it remains to be seen if it still does. Maybe that's what all this is. Maybe it's a test to see if this plane survives.
You're right. That is part of this. It's yet to be determined. We don't know yet. And we get to make that choice.
She looks at you and just kind of stares at you very, very intently.
And I think I think I do not have your experience, but I understand your fury. I'm here to support you. I'm here to support Zekian. We all are. We've had our differences. We've fought with Zekian. That doesn't mean that we don't understand or support you in your quest for...
I think, sorry, not to cut you off, but I think you've all, and she kind of looks to all of you, have made it very clear where your loyalties lie. You're here to kill the Waterlord, Ragaddon. You don't give a damn about the fucking shit that happens to the Feywild, the First World. None of that matters to any of you.
Hey, Zeke.
I wonder what's down this munch.
Okay, you're calm. He's not even here. Zeke! I just like calling for Zeke. He's not answering. I'm like, fuck me.
I guess I can see like 5 feet in front of me at a time because of the stick, but I don't have any dark vision. This is...
I wish I carried torches. This one moment.
This feels like a 6-inch moment.
Why do you think we don't care about the Feywild?
Sorry, have you not said over and over again to Zekian that, like, none of this really is going to carry over to dealing with the Fey? You've always made it clear, especially you, Tiefling, that once the Green Mother is dealt with, once the fucking Ragaddon is dealt with, you're done with helping the First World. The First World means nothing to you. It's just something to help you get to what you want, which is safety for your realm.
When she was talking to Tiefling, was she talking to
specifically Nepsis?
Nepsis. She's talking. Really? I don't remember Nepsis ever saying that. All right, never mind.
Oh,
yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
And you know, you might not. Your realm's not at stake here.
Because it was Zeke, Scylla, and Nepsis in Nepsis' room on the boat on the way here.
Oh, right.
I think that's when that happened.
That was
whenever we like hashed out the details.
Zekian,
Nepsis is pretty
have you
blunt
found
about it.
anything down this mine shaft?
So
I don't know.
I mean, I do care about the Feywild.
Prove
I mean,
it.
I don't.
Have we not
Okay.
already?
No.
We.
You've
What
shown loyalty
different?
to your own plane. What the fuck are you talking about? All of these things that you've slain thus far are direct threats to your plane, not mine.
We did not need to subdue the Bandersnatch.
I mean, we did that because it would be a weapon against the Waterlord, too, if she's
Oh.
talking about it that way. But I mean, I care about my friends.
We spent so much time in.
And
Tell
Zeke
me,
is my
all
friend,
of you.
so I will help him.
Tell me, all of you around here. What happens when your world's no longer in danger? Where do all of you go? Once, the most wildest of our fantasies have been accomplished. One, the first one, being that we slay one eldest. The second, the even more far-fetched one, because we've already gone past slaying one, we're slaying two.
Let me
After
ask you
that,
this though.
what happens? What happens to the Fae?
Is it so antagonistic? You do this for me, so I do this for you. You have
When
not
has it
once
been in-
asked for just simply help.
When
You
has
have
it been
always
any
put
other
on
way?
defense. I will help you if you help me. You
Sorry.
created this
Okay, but
imbalance.
actually, after
This feels like a
redundancy-
little bit you there. You might feel old being an elf and all, but there's a little bit of naivete coming in here. How many lifetimes have you lived? Both of you combined?
Again,
I would
you're
love to hear the number.
indefinizing.
I would love to hear the number.
3.
Not enough.
Anyway, you asked me what I was going to do after we get rid of the Waterlord and the threat is gone. I actually have theories, and she pulls out this notebook. And she's like, okay, so Zeke was talking about how Fae are, like, stuck in this endless cycle. And so my entire thing was finding out a way to sort of remove the ones that wanted to be out of the cycle, but without, like, killing them. And so finding a way to sort of give them what we have. Because he was talking about how, like, the gods made the first world first and then they moved on or whatever. I mean, that's not really right, but that's not important.
They gave up on
important
us,
is,
I.
What if we could change it? And so I've been looking at these things and I start like sharing the notes that I had taken a long time ago. And I'm like, what if it?
And she looks at you. Look, you're rambling. There's bits of it that gives me hope. But until you got a concrete plan, I really can't put any stock into it.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, you said, I don't care about the Fae. What are you going to do when your world's safe? Well, I actually do care.
So you think I should give you credence for having a scholarly interest in our affairs? What I
it wasn't
mean
a
by
scholarly interest, it was
well,
an actual
no,
plan that I was
it is.
working on.
It is, and let me explain why it is. Because the difference between a scholarly interest and, it being your fucking problem is that at the end of the day, if the Feywild goes belly up, doesn't affect a single one of you. None of you give a shit.
No, it doesn't. We are just taking time out of our day, out of our lives, sacrificing the risk of our lives to help you. This one, the purple one, just laid out a plan that she had no personal interest.
She laid out vague interest and vague goals. Nothing according to a plan.
You throw it away saying, well, it's not personally affecting you, so like what kind of foundation does it have? No, you asked, she answered.
She answered, and she answered an answer that has nothing to do with me. Nothing that helps me. Nothing that sees the Fae.
You didn't ask me if I care about you. You asked me if I care about the Fae.
Yes.
I am the Fae. I don't know how you don't understand that by this point.
I mean, you're one person, and if what I'm doing doesn't affect you, that means that you're not interested in what I was
A representative of our people as a whole.
Is
Oh, shit,
Zekian
you're
a
an
representative? Is Zekian a representative of the Fae?
Aye. As are any Fae that you come across, because we don't have the right to come to your world as we please. The ones that do come as ambassadors,
Well, okay,
whether you
hold on
see
a
it that
second.
way or not.
Dylan, here's the real question for you. What would you have us do?
Oh, easy. I'd have you to. I would start with instilling a little bit of a chain of command. Nothing gets done without a little bit of autocracy. Your kind knows that as well as I. You need someone who can make the decisions that you're not willing to make.
And okay, all right, very well. And what would be next? What would you have us do? Autocracy first?
In this circumstance, if I were in control, you wouldn't do it.
That's not what I
You'd
asked.
never agree.
I asked what you would have us do.
Well, it's a moot point, but
No harm in sharing.
if I were to have control over every single one of you, including Zekian, because he would never agree to this either, I would travel far into the Fey realm. Deeper and deeper into the Feywild, into the First World, until I found an eldest who had no affiliations with any of the current ones. Going that far, I would seek to strike a bargain. That bargain would be their alliance against the other eldest. One eldest versus another, that's much safer than, no offense, a bunch of prime material mortals going up against something they have no fucking idea about.
Pause. We're only doing this because you suggested it in the first place. All of this is happening here. Everything we've done since you've arrived has been at your suggestion.
Sorry, just to correct you there a little bit. You're not going against the Green Mother in this hypothetical that I propose. You're going against Ragadon the Waterlord. So it seems like a moot point. Which eldest you're going against? You're going against an eldest.
You're bringing up things I didn't bring up.
Whoa. Okay, hold on real quick.
Is that not your goal?
Wait.
Do you not seek to stop the Waterlord?
There are eldest deep in the Fey realm that don't have any allegiance with the other eldest.
Hey, okay. Gotta explain some basic planar lore. Zekian didn't tell me I'd have to do this much work, but I'll do it.
I mean,
Okay,
the
Feywild.
talking down is unnecessary.
No, it's very necessary apparently because we don't have time. Feywild, Infinite, has a lot of different places to it. So does the Prime Material. So does the Abyss. These three places. There are more places, but for now, these three places because they're most relevant. The Feywild, it is infinite. There are as many eldest as you have lords of your realm. Perhaps, no, almost certainly more. However, our realm your realm only feels the influence of a select number based on the correspondence of where the Feywild, the mirror realm, overlaps. You've only experienced the touch of the eldest that live in this area, more or less. The local eldest. The ones that are farther out, even us Fey are somewhat mysterious about, but they exist. They're out there. Same thing with the demon lords, same thing with the angels.
So if everything we've done up to this point, on your suggestion, is completely moot, it doesn't say anything about what we care about or where our loyalties lie, so why not suggest that we go find an eldest not associated with the rest of them, ask them to be a patron for our cause?
Oh, don't get me wrong. You followed the plans accordingly.
So I'm trying to figure out, what the fuck is your problem?
What the fuck do you mean?
We've done
you
everything
followed the
you have
plans.
asked to a T. No, you need to stop. You've been saying a lot of shit to everybody here. I don't know about you, all right? You're saying, I'll tell you right now, every single thing in this room, right now, all the people, all the stuff, this is the only thing in my entire life. Everything else has been cut out or sacrificed.
You hear a voice come in your head. That's not true.
And I have done that for each and every one of these people, including Zeke. When helping Zeke, I was helping him because he cared so much about the people on the other side of that portal that he didn't even know at the time. And I cared about them because he did. I care about what's going on in there because it matters to him. And I'm hoping that at some point that we can get along too. I want you to be important to me. I want myself to be important to you, but you only seem to care. You're blaming us for something that you're doing the same thing of.
You want to know why? Do you really want to know why I have problem with all of you?
I mean, I think I already know, but
Oh,
it's a faith.
I'd.
Hold on, really
That
quick.
it
Can
is,
I make
but-
an insight check
Yes.
on Scyllin for a couple reasons? Reason number one, she has said at least twice at this point the words, and I quote, "If I was in charge," or like, you know, if I could control each and every one of you, including Zeke.
Okay,
Yeah, what you inciting about? What you boiling up towards there?
In the same
Is
vein.
she? Yeah,
Oh,
is
sorry, go.
is she trying to puppeteer this into her personal favor rather than in the favor of the Fae as a whole? If that makes sense.
Make an insight check. Go for it.
Can I make an insight check, because the entire time she's been talking, she's been doing these very weird like jerks and moves. So is she under any demonic influences? I guess that would be religion.
That would be a religion check.
Can I do an insight, Oog?
What the fuck are you all doing? Too many questions are being asked of the Oog brain.
Okay,
but
I'll
yes, you can ask.
Okay.
No, go ahead and ask.
I just want to ask, this seems like a lot of anger. Is it only anger in Scyllin's voice, or is there a little scare? Is she scared a little bit? Is she sad a little bit?
Insight check. I'm gonna ask you to reiterate your questions, because I forgot. Opal, your question was an insight check. What was the question?
The question was, so because she has said now several times that if I was in charge, right, is she either hoping to, something like elevate herself to the, level of power of an eldest, or personal gain, right? Or like whatever, like, is she trying to puppeteer us, Zeke included, for personal gain rather than for the, I mean, it may be what her perceived benefit of the Fae is.
Yeah.
Like, anybody who thinks, oh, if I was in charge, then
Is this
things would be
coming from a
great.
place of selfishness?
Selfishness.
I got an answer for you. Opal, what you read, based on like how you're kind of like examining this conversation, Scyllin sounds passionate. She sounds very dedicated, and she almost sounds fed up with the bullshit that she may perceive. She definitely believes in the words she's saying, and these words that she's saying aren't said easily. You feel that based on how you've recognized Scyllin so far, this would be something she would more likely leave to Zekian to say.
So as in, this is not like a thing that's setting off alarm bells in the sense that we are all in danger, like by being affiliated with her. This is more setting off alarm bells of.
Let me clarify some things. You are, I know this isn't exactly what you meant, but you are in extreme danger by being associated with her, but more so by being associated with Zekian.
That's fine. I mean, not that kind of danger. More like danger that she's deliberately putting us into, versus alarm bells with regards to, this is her being like, this is her genuine concern. Like that's the kind of like this is like an internal thing for her that she's struggling with being in as a part of this group.
Yeah, it comes from a personal level. That's this concern definitely comes from a personal level.
She has reached her boiling point.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to know.
You made a religion check. What was it for? I forgot all these checks. I don't know what the fuck they're for.
I wanted to know, because she's been doing all these weird movements while she's talking. Is she under any demonic influences?
Looking at her, you know that it's interesting. This is an interesting thing you would know. With 15, you know that it is a little bit harder to possess outsiders. Outsiders are considered any creature that is not from the prime material. Prime material creatures, I guess is a better way to say it. Prime material creatures are more susceptible to possession/control than non-prime material creatures.
One step is two.
Moran would know this
Yeah.
with like a lot of spells that work on you don't work
Yeah.
on Fae. Like whole
Exactly.
person doesn't work.
Doesn't work on
I think
Fae.
charm person, I think it just doesn't work
Doesn't work on
because they're
Fae.
not a humanoid. They're
If
not
it says
prime material.
humanoid, doesn't work on humanoid. So like you do know that there is like an inherent difference when it comes to like what can affect and what can't affect. And from what you recall with your 15, you can't recall of any circumstance where a ghost or a demon possessed a Fae.
Except for the time when a demon or a ghost possessed Zekian.
That one time.
Except for the
Yeah.
time that it happened. But
Wait, no,
that's
actually,
different.
I think it happened, and then I was supposed to fight the party, and I one-shot Opal, and then we rewound, and it was like, no, the possession can only be humanoid, and it didn't happen. Never mind, I think you're right. I don't think Zeke was possessed.
He was possessed, but the possessing creature can't use the skills of the person.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, that was it. You're right. So Zeke was possessed.
Oh right, yeah, and
Okay.
you, yeah, like you like 8th level smited me.
Yeah. And then it turns out that it can't make me use my abilities. So
Yeah,
then instead
it's-
just, like
it's-
headbutt you.
From
Can
this
be done,
religion check,
but rare.
From this religion check, this isn't like she's being influenced. This is all her. Sick. Okay.
Nethus, what was your insight check?
It was just to see kind of if there's more emotion besides just anger in her.
Is this like coming from a place of fear?
Yeah. Is she scared? Is she just angry? Is she kind of sad about kind of what's happened to the first world? Like, what's going on here?
Looking over her feelings in this conversation, you definitely feel a strong sense of wanting to get back to how things were. There's a strong desire there. That's as much as you can tell. But you see genuine sorrow. You see genuine pain. You see genuine anger at the ideas proposed.
Okay. Then Nepsis he's kind of just like running his hand over the anvil, and he's gonna finally look at Cyllin in her eyes and go, how does it feel? It feels unfair what happened to the first world. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry you feel abandoned.
Mhm.
Part of the reason why I came back is to avoid that kind of abandonment. So if you're asking for
hang on. Sorry. You came back. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because your goddess told you to.
No. I came back.
You may not believe that she told you to, but by the happenstances that she puppeteered, she did.
Well, that's fine. If you are a representative of the Fae, let me be a representative of Sarenrae, the person who abandoned you. And let me tell you that I am sorry. I'm not able to lie to you, so I will say that anything the Fae need, I will help with. If the Fae want a cycle like ours, you can have it. If the Fae want to be released from the oppression of the eldest, I will help you. But being angry at us, it's not going to change the past. All I can do is help you in the future.
I'm not angry at you. Trust me, I implicitly understand the desire to protect one's realm. It's the only thing I strive for.
Well then, maybe you can wrap your head around that I do want to protect your realm as well. I am sorry for what I said previously. It is not how I feel anymore.
Would you lay down your life in service of the first world?
Yes.
Without hesitation.
And I know you would for the prime material. That's where your daughters live, after all. Am I right?
Yes.
That does seem like a very big question to be non the big word for coming back to, because both you and the Horned One have both said once your thing is done, we are on our own. Now you ask us to lay down our lives for you.
She lets out a long sigh.
We already have. Literally, the Red One has died.
Your deaths aren't the same as mine.
Fuck you! Ours are permanent! Most of the time.
You know nothing about your own afterlife, do you there?
No! I don't!
No.
I don't know anything about my current life!
You, lucky as you are, you get the choice.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hell.
No. You, well, maybe, but you get the choice of deciding in your life where you might go, what gods you might devote yourselves to, what paradises might await, what hells might await.
I mean, you're bringing this conversation back to you, to a place of, I am better than you because I have lived so many
I'm
lives.
comparing myself directly to the thing I was just talked about, where someone said to me where they get a better deal than I. No.
Who said
When I
it?
die,
Who said
I
that?
return to the cycle. When you die,
No, let's bring
you
it back
get
to
a
my
choice.
question. Let's bring it back to my question, because I said none of that.
Hey guys, what's going on?
There seems
Oh,
to be a
just explain to them
strong-
the Fae things, as it were.
They're not gonna get it.
They're not gonna get it.
And we don't need to get it.
No, you don't. Not for our purposes.
It'd
But
be helpful.
for the purposes
exactly.
that you're suggesting
From
for,
what we understand, from our perspective, we do for you, you do not do for us.
Well, are you guys fighting?
Oh, I haven't done for you. So I didn't deliver the eldest on a platter to you by giving you the goddamn the fucking goddamn fucking tame that you brought here under your whim. I didn't do any of that. For your purposes. What chance do you think you have against an eldest without the tame?
Like this, we can go on and on in circles like this. You do for you, you do for you.
Did
we
I come
only
at a
do
bad
for
time?
everyone else.
A little.
Yeah, Zeke, you did come at a bad time. Honestly, it's probably a good time because honestly, we're making zero progress. But I think it's just really a semantic argument.
What's the problem?
Well,
The problem is they don't fucking understand what's at stake here. They don't care about our world. They only care about theirs.
The
No,
problem
what I
they
care
don't
about
know.
is
Ooh,
us.
hold on, whoa. The problem is there is an assumption about what we do care.
That assumption's based on facts that you've all presented.
So when Nemesis was dead, and we got in this like big argument, and we were like, we're gonna split up, blah blah blah. What did you think that we were gonna do after
You
we
guys wanna
left
split up?
you and Zeke?
Things got a little rough while you were gone.
What you all
What
did.
did you think we were gonna do? After you left and did what you were gonna do with the Green Mother, and we left and did whatever we were gonna do, what did you think our next steps were gonna be? Because I can tell you what they were gonna be, at least what mine were.
Kill
Would you like
heralds?
to know?
If I had to imagine, you were going to kill the heralds or kill the Water Lord. Slay more of the eldest to solve your problems. Aye?
Really, by the way,
And then do you know what I was gonna do after?
Let me look at you. Let me stare at you for a moment. Oh. After all of this had done, I imagine, you might try to restore some glory, some honorability to your name. Might try to find some purpose in this world besides cleaning up messes. If I'm wrong, please tell me. Oh, then you had a much lower purpose in your future than I even anticipated.
So we were gonna go take care of the Water Lord, or die trying, and if we did that, then I was gonna go and take care of the Green Mother. Because I know that Zekin wouldn't have been able to do it on his own. So he would have probably died doing it. So I would have done what he wanted and taken care of the problem. And the Green Mother doesn't affect me, and she doesn't affect this plane. But Zeke is my friend, and he said that she's bad.
What are you talking about? The Green Mother has the whole thing in that town, Emberwell, like the whole thing.
I was gonna go and take care of her. That's it, plain and simple.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna die trying, but
yeah, well, but
sure, I appreciate the sentiment.
You would have died trying too by yourself, but that's not really an argument.
Oh, really quick, I just heard someone say, as are most of us. Is that as in the sense that when we go to fight the Green Mother, she is anticipating that most of us are going to die in the process of doing so?
Yeah, she's been very clear about that this whole time.
That doesn't even need an inside check. That's just like everybody's going to fucking die except for maybe
she's been saying this for a while, where it's like, if you had a chance at... Yeah, exactly. If you had a chance at being the Green Mother, it would be with the Tane. But even then, it's dubious. And the fact that it's dubious with a CR whatever creature on your side is worrisome.
Maybe she's putting forth the idea that if we do kill the Green Mother, the idea of also none of us dying in the process is probably laughable.
Yep, that's fine. Listen, Cyllin.
Oh, it's important to remember. The Green Mother has died before, as have many eldest. Killing them permanently is a little trickier. Now,
that is actually a very important thing
to know about. We
yeah,
didn't
you
know
could have mentioned that like 20, 40, 80. Like,
you guys didn't know that?
It wouldn't have made a difference because you still have to kill the fucking Ragadon, so it doesn't matter. The point being,
the whole
we're likely to find something within their own domain.
Figured that was the thing that they maintained, so like if they were out of it, you know, they'd be like out.
If you're out of the Feywild, you're almost immortal as a Fey. Almost.
Okay, so does that mean that we... Okay, hold on a second. If we were to... Alright, so here's a question that I don't understand, because now that you say that, we want to make sure that when we do this, that it is permanent. Right? That's what you're saying, right? So, wherever we find this green... We're going to have a... We're searching for the like, essentially the portal to the Blood Petal Throne.
Aye. Where we'll hopefully...
Is the Blood Petal
Here's
Throne
the plan.
in the Feywild?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, I don't know the answer to that question.
It's her home domain. It's a little bit of an uphill battle. If we destroy her there, it'll take her much longer to restore. And in that time, we're make sure that she doesn't come back. If you want to compare it to such crude terms as the ones you have on your...
Why is this surprising to you people? Like, coming back to life is like the Fey thing.
Yeah, okay, but okay, hold on a second.
Like the whole reason I'm doing this. Of course they come back.
Where is the so the only way to kill permanently kill the Green Mother is in her home plane. Is that correct? Or is there a different ritual? Or what is it that actually needs to happen?
Straightforward way.
The prerequisite that must happen is her being defeated in her home plane. Yes.
Her home plane, is that where the Blood Petal Throne is?
Correct.
Okay, so if we go kill her in the Blood Petal Throne, then she's not dead necessarily. Weakened. So then once she's weakened, how do we then finish it?
Oh, Paul, you already know the answer to that question.
We really don't, otherwise she wouldn't be asking.
Zeke's
okay, it might be that Opal does know. I mean, so is the first of all, if the answer is a Fey thing, then that's fine.
No.
If the answer isn't that, Opal might know, but players
doesn't. Firsthand, Zeke permanently end the life of several Fey.
You just need to cast her into that pit? Like, because that means we have to bring her out of her homeworld into not her homeworld in order to do that.
Listen, I've got other ideas. That's a backup plan, I'll admit.
You got on my ass about my scholarly pursuit about ending the cycle, and now you're like, we can't kill the Green Mother for real because of the cycle. So it's not really a scholarly pursuit, it's like a solution to the problem?
Your way of ending the cycle doesn't work.
I haven't figured it out yet, duh!
Exactly. Tell me when you do.
Why be against her and not fucking help her?
Contribute.
What do you mean? How the fuck am I gonna help her if she hasn't figured it out yet? She clearly isn't smart enough.
You step the fuck back right there, mate. All right.
I take real offense to that, but you're
I
probably
will.
right.
Instead
That's
of
why it would be
walking
easier if
us
you helped
talking
me.
It's
down
not
to
meant
us.
to be offensive. It's meant to be indicative of what the fuck we're up against.
When we
And
don't
Figure it
know,
out, the eldest. No, no,
someone
no,
needs
no,
to
no.
It would not be
teach.
helpful to
Let-
like I don't know.
Zekian,
let
can
us
you
in
get some
on
order
these-
here, please? Someone?
Clump your hooves.
Maybe just
Clump 'em.
someone needs to catch me up on what happened. I was over there looking at the rocks, and then I came over, and you're all arguing.
First question:
don't
did you
understand
see
the
anything
stakes.
in the rocks?
You what?
Did you see anything in the rocks?
No, I can't see in the dark.
All right, that's fine.
I can't-
All right, here's how this went down. Dylan came over. He said, "Hey, I see that there are, or
This
I
is a waste of
overheard
time.
that there's some opals over there. Why aren't we using them?" And I said, "Well,
Yeah.
the reason being is that we are currently in the realm of Thotham, and it puts us at greater risk to be stealing from Thotham than to like you noticed that all the demons overran this place, and they were smart enough not to take those opals."
I mean, the way I understand it, this is Zauramaz's domain.
You know,
There's this tricky thing
I'm
about
not one to
domain.
like jump into spicy arguments or anything, but based on how this is kind of perceived by my mundane eyes, I have to agree with the horned one, or the broken horned one at least.
Fair enough, still. But there is a tricky thing about who owns, whose domain something is. Just because something lives in or occupies a realm does not make it their own.
Lyric kind of
maybe
walks
help
forward.
me out, because I don't know your gods very well. Is Thotham a good one?
About as good as they get, in the sense
So
that
do
they're
you think
neutral.
they'd be against helping us? Do you think
No,
they'd, like,
I don't.
kill us?
I don't think they'd be against us.
So so they would or they wouldn't hinder us?
I don't think they would hinder us. I think if we
Let's just take
if
the opals.
we-
That'd be them helping us.
here's my reasoning, Zekian, for not taking the opals. In the event that this is a statue, I'm as I said, I'm not a pious man or cat or
Yeah.
woman.
Accurate in a few ways.
Anatomically correct.
Anatomically, it is correct. I do not know precisely how revered this statue is to be. However, based on my understanding of gods of the material plane, they can be fickle. Thotham's, in particular, his biggest concern is the protecting of magical artifacts. To steal things of great power from statues dedicated to him
Sorry.
might be viewed as a slight.
It ain't stealing if you're one of his, right? Like, it's just more like borrowing.
Could you just like ask him?
That's a good question. I haven't tried yet.
Could you do it?
I could
What
try.
if you like close your eyes real hard and ask him, and then say he said yes?
I
Well,
figured if this
If
god
he
has
doesn't
some
say yes,
way
I
to,
wouldn't
like,
say that. But I can definitely try. If you all want me to try, I'll try. There's no
if your
harm
god
in
has
that.
some way to like punish us, then surely it has some way to tell us like, don't do that.
Don't do it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm happy to try that. But my thought being, realistically, Zekian,
This is what you're all
the
fighting
desire
over?
for those opals is to cast them into the device that might get us a wish sword, right? Which
Oh,
understandable,
That sounds useful.
very very useful. However, if we end up needing those opals down the line to actually aid in the grafting of this collar to the Tane, then all of a sudden
Did
we
Sylvan
don't
say
have
that?
them. Ellen, do you know how to graft the collar to the Thane? Does it require
Oh, she won't.
gems?
She's gone. She's left. She like left a long time ago. At this point, she like
Someone's
walked
saying
away.
to use the gems for the machine, so clearly she doesn't need them.
She doesn't think she needs them.
Well, I'll trust
And I'd
your
rather
judgment.
risk that later rather than right now.
I mean, that's fair. I guess if we get a sword that's got a wish or something, we're not going to use it on Zalramaz.
Exactly my point, right? So it's a moot point whether we get it now or get it after we deal with whatever's down that path with the demonic vines.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
Yeah,
like, we're probably gonna take it either way.
that's fine. Particularly if it's with the intent of protecting magical artifacts or magical knowledge, which realistically this would do. To putting magical artifacts in the hands of,
Yeah, we're gonna use it
of
to
those
save,
dedicated to protecting realms. That sounds right up Thought of
using it
Valley.
to
So
save the entire first world. I think that like sort of quantifies as a magical thing.
I
So,
certainly think
sorry,
that's
I
within
haven't
the realm of
followed all this
possibility.
religio babble or whatever you've been kind of going on about. Does that mean I can loot this place?
So
I've already
wait,
kind of
didn't-
have, as you look at her
didn't we
wearing
already
like
take
new
stuff?
demonic armor that she's kind of wearing all over her body.
is this?
We like took some things. Like you guys gave me this thing.
Yeah. I mean, the armor and stuff, the demonic armor, that doesn't belong to Totem. That doesn't even belong here. You're more than
Well, I
welcome
mean,
to
it was
have
forged here, so like, if everything here belongs to Totem, it does, right?
To be perfectly honest, I don't really know the answer to that. Like I said, I'm not a pious man.
So how did this thing turn into the whatever argument it you got Sullen all heated?
I don't really know how the fire things turned into what we were talking.
It ended up being more of a concern of her believing in our intent. That if we weren't willing to just take those opals, then are we really willing, or are we really aligned with what you are hoping from us? Are we really willing to go the distance to fight the Green Mother? Are we willing to go the distance to help the Fae? Or are we really just in it for ourselves and our
And judging
own
by how pissed off she
foolish
was,
mortal
no.
desires?
A whole
Was
mine that we can do before doing this ditch, you think?
well,
If this
again,
issue is
we
big
don't know
for
if there's
your
anything. We don't know if there's anything down the mine. None of us have been down there yet, and
With
more
that
than
question,
likely,
I'm gonna
it's
jump
deep.
over real quick. To Marana. You're trying to chase after Scylla, and it looks like Reshta might be close behind you.
I'll just mentally ask her, do you want me to come with you?
No, you can stay. I don't care.
I will. I will be within distance.
For when she
one of the
stabs me 30
distances of all
times.
time.
Do I
As
see
you-
her?
Yeah, as you start turning down the hallway, you see Scylla is kind of posted up on a part of the cavern wall, arms crossed, just kind of waiting for Zekian to reappear, most likely. And she looks at you, and then looks back towards the cavern wall.
Can I ask you a question?
You already did.
Can I ask you more than a few questions?
You're continuing to do so, so you might as well ask.
Okay. You said I'm not smart enough. That's true. But you're very smart. And I'm pretty smart.
Just because I said that doesn't mean you're not smart.
I mean, I know that, but I'm not smart enough.
Just
to solve all
means
the
you're not
problems in the
smart
world.
enough.
Right.
And neither
So,
am I.
what if we work together?
We could. I'm sadly gonna have to inform you
Oh.
that might contradict your current moral code.
What do you think my current moral code is?
Oh, well, I imagine it's tied to that goddess of yours.
Yeah, sometimes.
Hmm.
I've gotten actually a lot of trouble about that. A lot of the time.
You probably will get into more trouble if you don't continue to adhere to that. And, you know, that's not your fault. That's
I
how the
haven't
gods
said
are.
anything that's against the rules yet. And if I don't really know the rules, I can't get in trouble.
Frankly,
That's proven not to be true.
I have a
Frankly-
very short memory.
if anything were off limits to the gods, trying to empower their first creations, the ones they wrote off as rough drafts, probably wouldn't sit too well with them. These gods, you see, they're very prideful. They make a decision, they decide, oh, that's the thing. I made this, it's good, it's ready to go. Hasn't always proven to be the case.
That doesn't make it fair.
No, it doesn't. But the gods don't play fair. We play by their rules, not the other way around.
So
Well,
I should be
I
able to help
guess
you
except
because-
for everything besides the things lurking out in the dark tapestry. Those
Well,
things.
I still want to work with you to fix this. You worry about the issue, and I'll worry about my own moral compass. It's a win even.
Tell me,
Not a win.
Marana,
Mhm.
what do you perceive to be the issue in this situation?
Which situation?
This whole one we're talking about, this whole little argument of ours, the whole dealio with the fate of the Feywild.
Well, I mean, it's an issue that the Feywild isn't our home, so what we do there doesn't really affect us. It affects you guys. And even though we're saying all the right things, until we actually do it, it doesn't matter to you because it's not done.
Correct?
So
In fact,
let's do it.
you're spot on. You may see all of this, and she kind of points around towards the forge and gestures generally around her. You may see all of this, this whole thing to come and get this collar, the whole thing to go and get the Bandersnatch. You may see all of it as my machinations, as me and Zekian's machinations. But really, these things have only been done in service of yourself. These things we have done are, yes, self-interested. They keep us more likely to survive this endeavor. That doesn't change for you. You're also more likely to survive this endeavor with strong allies. That's all we've ever seeked to forge. But you see it much more transactionally, which is ironic, than the Fae do sometimes. If we don't do something for you, you're not going to do something for us. And you might argue, we do the same thing, blah, blah, blah. Sure, recently. But if you want to go back, if you want to test the history books, I can tell you right now which side they'll support.
I can't argue with you there. But I mean, I guess it is funny that if you go back to the history books and you look at what everyone else has done, the rare example, because we're not Fae, everybody that you meet is a different person. We're not living the same life over and over again, so maybe we might surprise you this time.
Oh, no doubt you'll surprise me. I hope for the better, but I expect for the worse. You see, you material creatures with your free will and all, you're interesting, that's for sure.
You're
But
interesting.
you're
too.
worrying. You're
So
very, very worrying.
Do you
You
want
see-
the free will or not? Is it like I envy
it's
you,
hard
but
to say.
also I'm scared of what
It's
it
very hard to
means?
say. Do I want the chaotic nature that comes with chaos? Do I want the lawful nature that comes with law? No, I think I prefer a neutral ground. I do. But those forces are very tangible. They very much exist. Hard to ignore them. Hard to not swear allegiance to one side or the other, good, evil, lawful, chaotic. One way or another, it feels like we commit ourselves to some sort of religion. What that religion is seems to be up to us, but I can't even confirm that's true, even for us first worlders.
I mean, it's not. I ended up following like a shadow demon before I was with Desna. But then I found out that I was with Desna the whole time. Like Desna was like the start. So it really wasn't even a choice that much.
You know, this might come to some offense to you, but your personal history isn't that much of a secret to us outsiders.
Me?
That creature you served wasn't no demon. Far above. You're looking at a proper deity that you once served, so good luck escaping that. But the
The
thing
shadow
you serve
thing?
now. Oh, the shadow thing. That shadow thing you're so scared of. What have I told you? That was a mere shard, a mere servant of the beast that you actually served. And no,
Give me
she's,
more
oh
information.
boy,
She
is quite the beast. But she is careful, considerate, and someone who isn't going to make a move until she's exactly ready. If she hasn't already. Not the point. The point is, your problems and mine are very different.
I mean,
You want to help me with mine, allegedly. And I very
don't-
clearly want to help you with yours. However, the difference being, your problem has direct relevance, well, your current problem has direct relevance to my realm. And your actual problem, well, it doesn't go away when this whole Ragaddon thing is solved. You're still in debt. You're still digging. Try to find a way out of the hole that was dug for you.
who's in debt?
You.
Me? Personally?
Aye?
To the
You
shadow
don't see
demon?
it? To Lady Despair.
Of course she would call herself Lady Despair. It's a sick fucking nickname. Well, that's a problem for future Marana. Right now, we're working with your
Oh,
problem.
no. She puts her hand on your shoulder. You're protected by the grace and power of Desna. You're forever protected. As was Zekian. And she looks at you.
Is she about to stab me to death? What the fuck's going on here?
The music did get slightly extremely ominous.
I can't even hear the music. It's just being weird.
It's kind of an ominous point. Zeke was also
Desna.
protected by Desna, except that he wasn't.
The gods. I'm sorry to tell you this, honey. They don't have your best interest in mind. They're self-important creatures who believe only in their divine right to rule. And that's what they'll do. They'll rule over you. They'll rule over me. They'll rule over every single soul that they can.
Oh, so your plan that I can't really work with you on is the of the so you don't want, to like
You
bring me
can't
into it.
work with me because you're not useful without a god behind you.
I mean, I could be.
No, you can't be because you would be if otherwise.
I mean, they're not really
Prove me
responsible for how
wrong.
smart I am.
And go back
Okay.
to your fucking friends who reaffirm your delusions. You're never...
Morana will cast Dissonant Whispers on Cylin because it's not one of my warlock spells. So it has no effect or anything from my patron.
Let's see. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which she rolled. She starts. You see her kind of grasp at her head.
That's just for me. No gods involved.
I'll stay here for now. As she
Speaking of
turns
16 gang idea.
and she begins to walk. Oh boy, magic.
I'll figure out some more ways that I can be
No,
useful
no,
without
no,
my
no.
gods.
You're just starting to play with what magic can get at, and don't you worry. As she starts to trail off into the distance forcefully, you're going to learn the true reaches of magic soon.
That sounds epic and awesome and also terrifying.
That's super proud.
You're so fucking badass. Oh my god. I
And
love
she
that guy.
trails off into the distance, back towards the hub.
So while this
Of
was
the dwarven
happening,
fort.
Opal was just going like, and there was like this little bit of hypocrisy happening where like she was saying like, oh, you guys won't do anything because it's so transactional, right? Like you won't do anything for us unless we do something for you. And I was kind of just biting my tongue because really what I wanted to say is like we're here to help you deal with the Green Mother first, right? That's not
Allegedly.
transactional, right?
Like kind of out of character. I don't do this a lot, but out of character, I will say, more or less, the group's attitude towards dealing with the Green Mother has been transactional. It's more of a we're helping the person in our party more than we are helping ourselves, which isn't inaccurate. The Green Mother poses no threat to all of you.
Right, and
allegedly.
not to mention that like the more immediate threat to us and our plane is the Waterlord, and we as a group have decided to push that back to help Zekian and Scylla and the Fae deal with the. And this is sort of what I'm just and Zeke and I have had this conversation. I said, look, like we're gonna go with you to the ends of the earth to deal with the Green Mother. And when that's done, I know that you have said that you don't have an interest
Opal
in dealing
has.
with the water. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Opal has
But
said
the
this.
others
Doesn't
have
matter.
said different things.
But point being is that Opal knows that she has said this and has sort of bit her tongue through that conversation, despite wanting to say that, did not let Scylla speak her mind. And I'm sort of just kind of explaining what Scylla's perspective is versus
Right.
where Opal's at. And realistically, even though the group hasn't necessarily said that, and the group has, at least in Opal's opinion, had issues with Zeke's and Zeke's single-mindedness towards dealing with the Green Mother.
Tell you what, Opal, Armello, I
You
should
use
say.
the character too.
I'll say this is a conversation happening in character. We're gonna kind of shift this to, because this kind of ran.
Said, and maybe we forgot, but clearly Mook hasn't forgotten. Because this was the terms. Zeke laid it out raw to the whole group that you guys killing the heralds is accomplishing absolutely nothing, and that you guys can't accomplish anything. You can't. You need him, and you need Scylla. He has to help you, or else you will fail because you don't know what to do. And Zeke also said he is not going to help you until
yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Mother. So yeah,
and
Zeke is the reason why we're here first, because he's not going to help you first.
Do you want to hit this in? We can hit this in character. Right? This is we can
do it in character. Do it right now. Opal's been spieling about her logic, and in the middle of it, Leary says, "Logic's stupid. I think we should just attack."
Well, speaking of 6int gang, we we do now have a way to get through those creepy demonic vines. But point being, Zeke, right? We know what the deal is. We know that you have said that once you've dealt with the Green Mother, you're not intending to stay to help with the Waterlord, right? Anything that we've learned from this experience sort of is our own to then deal with the Waterlord, should we choose to continue to do so.
That was only the case after Nepsis was dead.
Be that as it may, and like I said to you, I hope that you'll stick with us, right?
Those words
be your
ring
choice.
Sharply on your ears, Nepsis.
As long as Nessus is around, I will uphold my end of the deal.
Right.
But the moment he's gone, so am I.
Right, and I know that that's the way that you feel, and believe me, I hope as much as anyone that Nefsa sees it through to the end and beyond. For not just for the power that he brings to the group, but for all the other goodness that Nefsa brings to existence.
But I do have one thought on that. is none of our risk. The rest of us. Is that worth nothing? Our time.
You're doing this to save your own world. That's clear.
And
We're not killing the Green Mother to save our own world. We're doing that because we believe in you.
Because without me, you can't slay the Waterlord. Or rather, without Sillin, you can't kill the Waterlord.
no, I am tired of having our relationship bound by shackles. It puts us on the shield. The one with the shield. And you, the one with the sword.
Yeah, that's called power.
And it seems to me that at the end of the day, we each need each other. Our power is balanced. We need each other to suit both of our goals.
This is incorrect. I don't need you. I need
Okay.
Nexus.
Then, bye.
Nanan. That's what I didn't want. That's why they suck so much.
What, did I say something?
Yes.
Everyone's all
It's not your fault. It's you don't. Yeah, exactly. Nanan's a little fired up already about the conversation with Zillin. Ah, shit. Zekian.
Yeah.
Nanan is here. Nanan.
Because of the dead guy in the Feywild.
Yeah.
So you think that she'd want to save the Feywild because that's like where the dude is.
She wants to save the Feywild for more reasons than that. It's like you say, it's a Fey thing. They are more easily able to articulate why they want to save the Feywild.
Yeah.
We struggle with we struggle with the with what you might consider the correct reason, articulating it.
Why do you want to save your world? Like, what's the problem with the Ragnar? What if he just floods it? It's not all of it. It's just a chunk of it. What do you care?
We think it might be only a chunk of it. We don't know.
Oh, what if he floods it all?
Well, sorry, I missed the question, I guess.
There are, to be fair, it's an interesting, like, moral, like, out of character thing to contend with. But there are aquatic races that live underwater.
Right.
More of them, actually.
Sure, but so sorry. What was your question, Zeke?
I guess I don't understand how you all don't know why you want to save your world. It's pretty, as you say.
Sorry, we know why we want. We know why we want to save our world, and in many cases, it's selfish reasons. Like, it's where we live. It's where our families are from. It's where our families will hopefully get to live. There are people that we love and hate and desire who occupy this plane, both on land and in the sea, in the sky, and beyond. There's
I don't
a
see
lot
what's so
that's
difficult
here.
about that.
There's nothing difficult about that, and the thing is that we don't necessarily say that out loud. We don't say that that's the reason we want to save the world. We say we want to save the world because we want to save the world. When we say we want to save the Feywild because we want to save the Feywild, we're told you don't get it because it's a Fey thing, and that may be true, and we may not be articulating it as cleanly as that. We just some things, and maybe this is a you know what, Zekian, I might be a material girl, and I'm living in a material world.
Well, wait, so then you've got another reason, because the reason you said you want to save your world, all of you want to save your world, is because the people that you love and you hate and you desire and all that, because all the people are in it, but none of your people are in mine, except for the nun.
But there are people that, if we were from your world, that we recognize that the people that you love, the people that you hate, and the people that fall everywhere in between for you, they do live there. I mean, some of us live here. Hopefully, you we fall somewhere on that spectrum.
So you just want to save the Feywild because things live there.
Is that not a good enough reason?
It's not very compelling. In fact, most of what we've been doing on this whole journey is killing things, so saving life isn't exactly at the top of your list. And also, things in the Feywild, they tend to just come back. That's the problem.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not necessarily the easiest for people from the
My goal
material
for the
plane to
Feywild isn't to
articulate.
save lives, it's to take them.
Or to let them live the way that they choose to live.
Yeah. Except any who choose to stay in the cycle are wrong.
Right, and if they choose to stay, here's a question for you. That's a good question. Good question for Scylla too. If they choose to stay in the cycle, should they be allowed to?
I'm not trying to
Even
end
if they're
the eldest.
wrong?
I'm ending the cycle.
Right.
My enemy is not the eldest. My enemy is the cycle. My particular enemy is the Green Mother because of a grudge.
And look, and here's the point. Scylla, I think that's what Scylla sees. Scylla sees that we're here to help you fight the Green Mother, because I think all along, everyone in this party, Nanan included, thinks that killing the Green Mother ends the cycle. I don't know if we necessarily understand the difference between the two.
Oh, no, yeah, no, of course not.
Right. So, I think, yes, we were here to help you deal with the Green Mother because we want to support you, and because we think, I think at least up to this point, a lot of us thought that is going to end the cycle. Oh, we also want to then afterwards deal with the Waterlord because they pose an immediate threat to the people on this plane. But if our job isn't done with breaking the cycle, which again is not something that I know how to do, and maybe you do, maybe Scylla does know the direct way to do it, I at least, and I think everyone else here, wants to support you. That's, I think, the key thing. And I think Scylla hears the first part and then tunes out the rest. And that's
It doesn't feel like
totally...
you want to support me. It feels like you have to.
Okay, I understand you feeling that way, but you know as well as I, in the same way that you don't have to help us kill the Waterlord, we don't have to support you break the cycle. We're only doing it because we want to. We want to
sort of have to, or else everyone that you love and care for and desire and all of that and hate, all those people are all gonna die.
Well, that's killing the Green Mother and then killing the Waterlord.
Yeah.
That's not the cycle. That's a separate thing.
True.
Right? That's my point.
Yeah.
It's like, just like you're saying, killing the Green Mother doesn't end the cycle. Killing the Waterlord doesn't end the cycle. It might start in the right direction of, throwing the cycle off kilter and getting us to a point where we can end the cycle. But the reason, just like you have a grudge just as you have a grudge against the Green Mother, we have a grudge against the Waterlord. And I think that that's something that we both can mutually understand about.
Yeah, I also understand that you're not helping me with the Green Mother because of my grudge. Same way I'm not helping you with the Waterlord because you've got a grudge. I don't care. That's your grudge, not mine.
Right. You're helping us because, well, you might be helping us because we're helping you. We're helping you not because of the promise of you helping us down the line. We're helping you because we believe in you.
No, I'm only saying that I'm going to help you deal with the Waterlord after because that's the only way that Nefsus will help me. And without him, I can't do it.
He says it in front of Nefsus.
That's...
If I said that after the Green Mother I'm done, Nefsus isn't going to help me. We talked this out before. That's the terms. It all just hinges on him staying alive.
And if Nefsus they chose to not, but I chose to stay to help you, is that worth nothing?
I'd appreciate the act, but it wouldn't solve anything.
What is it that you actually need to defeat the Green Mother? This is me just being ignorant, I guess. What is it that Nefsus has that will solve this?
Power.
Which power?
Whatever powers his god deigns to deem on in that day. Just whatever he needs. I mean, in the scale of what we're doing, Opal, of what you are, you're incredible. To be just a mundane, short-lived blip in the time of the material plane, and to have nothing special about you other than you actually lost a sense. Technically, objectively, you're worse than most other people, and yet you've honed your ability to be able to be significant. That's incredibly admirable. However, are you really going to compare your usefulness to an emissary of a god? Don't be naive.
I mean,
and of all the people here, I mean, Anand's got something going on, but I haven't seen that god of hers do anything. I've seen Nefsis's god do things, and in fact, I have a personal connection, had a personal connection with a god that's part of his. And come to find out, that one doesn't help you. Nefsis's does. So, I don't need Marana, because she has Desna, the god that I've confirmed firsthand. Won't help me. Won't help you. She serves herself. Sarenrae, as much as I disagree with some of her tenets, I recognize that she's a person with power and that's willing to use it. And Nefsis can access it.
And that's fair enough for it to be transactional on your end. And maybe that is a Fae thing. Not that mortals can't be transactional.
There's other layers, Opal. If let's say Marana was killed, what are you going to do about it?
Everything we can.
You're going to do nothing. You're going to petition me or Nefsis or someone with a connection to someone with actual power to bring her back. You will stand by and grieve. That's the difference. You're an incredible individual, but you don't have the connections. You don't have the opportunities that he does, that I did.
Just because I didn't get an MBA doesn't mean...
I hope you don't take this as a criticism. It's not. I'm not trying to talk down to you. I'm just laying out. This is why I say that I need Nefsis, and why I don't need the rest of you, because I don't. In fact, I don't need Nefsis. I need Sarenrae. But he's the only way I've got. And he knows it. And you guys don't need me to kill the Waterlord.
Hey, Nefsis.
You need the power I have access to.
Are you holding Sarenrae over Zeke's head?
Not intentionally.
Right. He's not holding this over your head.
Well, it doesn't have to. Sarenrae exists, and I've seen her work, and I know that I need her. And if you have a way to access Sarenrae and petition her for power and it work, we can renegotiate this whole thing. But until such a time that one of you has a divine connection to a being of real power, impactful power, you don't matter in the grand scale of it.
Well, I am very excited to prove that assumption wrong, Zeke. And I'm going to go see if I can bring Nanan back and...
Oh, you are all so boring.
While you're at it,
always talking about this
on your side, then we can talk.
Extra bullshit. I don't know what you're talking about. The Sunny Sky lady probably wouldn't want me to stay here. I'm just gonna move on.
I'm gonna try to find Nanan and try to have a conversation with Nanan at some point.
You catch up with Nanan with this. Like it takes a little bit of time. But she's a little bit.
Oh, can Nefsis go real quick? I don't have much to say.
Go for it.
I think when everyone leaves, he's going to finally turn to Zeke and be like, what Zillan said is probably right. I wasn't the first one.
What'd she say?
Well, when she talked about the shackles. I wasn't the first one that put shackles on you, but I was maybe one of the most recent. I'm sorry. And any quid pro quo we have, it's gone. If you want to fuck off after the Green Mother, I won't chase you. I'll ask for your help, but I won't force you to do it. I will help you because it's the right thing to do. Because I would want you to do it for me, but I can't force you to. So
You can, if there's a thing that I don't know how, but you've managed to forget is that at the end of the day, I'm a fae. When we make a deal, we're bound to it. Outside of a deal, we'll fuck you over at the earliest opportunity. But once we have terms, I'm held by it. If you live, I'll help against the Waterlord. It's as simple as that. If you want to free me from it, feel free to kill yourself after the Green Mother. But I don't think that's very productive.
does the first death not matter? Is it back on? That seems kind of bullshit.
I think the deal stands. You're alive.
I like Mook's contract law.
Okay.
Whenever you died, I made it very clear to the group that I don't have any more use for them. I was going to go through this place, get the collar, and leave, and go do what I got to do. And then you came back.
Is Sarenrae strong enough to break this contract?
It's a fair thing. She wouldn't get it.
As you say that, a globule, a sphere, rises from the lava, floating just over yonder. Here, it forms the shape of the sun. And that is all that happens for now.
Step into the lava.
You can.
Let the hate flow.
Well, we can just walk on it still, yeah. We've got our lava shoes on.
It still burns like fucking crazy, though.
I can't see it behind that wall. I see nothing. I'm gonna look at this anvil more.
Gonna ignore that weird shit going on over there.
Why is
Just
it way
gonna focus
brighter
on this
over there?
anvil.
Let me back
Let's
up.
hold
Couldn't
hands
be
and
my
look at this
god.
thing.
Let me
for a bit.
look around and see why it's so bright over there. Oh, there's a fucking sun.
There's a sun floating right here.
Oh, okay. I'll fly
Is it-
into it. Or no, I'll
You
touch it.
fly
I'll
into it?
fly up and touch it.
You touch it, and you feel a barrier and a feeling. This is an offer. The last. Nephsis. Know this. It is up to you, my servant, to instruct him upon my will.
And what are you offering? I don't think I can.
He needs my power. He begs for it. It is something I offer the righteous, those who crusade upon a worthy cause. If you can guide him upon that, my power is his.
And if I can't?
If you can't, you know my tenet. You know the one I refer to.
Gotcha.
We see the path that he walks down. He cannot be allowed to continue unless he serves the forces of good.
I'm gonna relay the first part. I don't think he's gonna
Let
like the
him
second
in.
part.
Just get him to enter.
I'll do my best. Then I'll head out.
You see, Seekian, the sun emerges and Nephsis enters it and then exits after a few minutes.
That's what I'm talking about. See? I'm assuming that's your god.
Yeah, that was her.
Of course it is, because she's involved. How did she hear all that conversation?
It seems like she did.
She gonna help?
Yes.
Well, great. We can take all the guessing game out of it. Then consider the Waterlord defeated.
Great.
Excellent.
And he's going to just fly down the hall.
The sun remains.
Zeke's gonna just walk after him. Man, I chose the wrong god the first time.
You hear a voice call out, Zekian. Zekian,
Yeah.
enter the flame.
Yeah, sure thing. Sure thing, friend. Can't do it without you, so I'm sort of a slave to whatever your will might be. And he'll step in.
You jump within. And as you do, you feel a force overcome you.
Private room, private stuff.
Man, I hate semantic arguments. Particularly with the DM, who is always right.
I think if Opal was coming in, Resto would just be like, I understand he's frustrating and impossible to work with. We just have to be patient, and hopefully we can we can get through to each other.
Scylla is so fucking cool, you guys.
She's like kind of a
Badass.
okay. I will say I do reserve to her the title of bad bitch.
She knows
Because she's
about my
kind of a
patron, the cold one.
I only saw that thing for like a second. Like after that, it was like gone. What's it about?
Oh, sorry. Quick question. Were you guys hanging out in the hallway, or were you continuing to walk?
After Marana talked to Zillin and she had to leave because what's worse, she came back to Resto because
She was like 15 feet away from you, and she heard the whole thing.
oh,
I would assume, just because like
she knows.
whenever she started getting like real ominous, Resto was just like, do I go in? Let her wait. Do I go in or let it? She can work this out. She normally does.
I think Nanan would continue walking, so continue on. I will not intervene.
Oh. Bye. What happened?
Oh.
You were listening to me, not them.
No, I mean, I've heard their arguments before. It's about the same. I don't really need to hear what's happening to understand what's happening, you know? Nanon? You good?
I'll go outside. I'm going outside. I mean, in my regular accent.
Outside of the cave or outside of the forge? Or...
Outside.
Oh, okay.
Oh, needs some air.
Yeah, she gone.
How far? Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna chase Nanan down at some point.
I have 30 feet movement speed, if that.
Yeah, Nanan, that's slow. I can easily catch you.
At a brisk jog.
Feline agility on all fours. Just...
Oh, hey, oh, okay, and she's gone.
I'll be right back.
Guys, I have theories for my books now. Okay, so Scylla knows about the cycle. Marana is like sitting down writing in her thing, making more notes.
Alright, I'm just imagining like chameleon step for Nanan now, considering like, because her walking slow is news to me.
Well, it's not that you're slow. You're average, but Opal has a base speed of like 50, cause monk. She's just
Damn.
But
Least.
when you Zephyr Strike, you move.
when you Zephyr Strike, you're fast as fuck.
Nobody's as fast as me.
But Opal is fast
You're
all
as
the
fast as
time.
Mega Fuck, okay?
I am
Got that power thirst in her.
like 180 feet around fast at like a baseline.
Gee.
That's movement plus action, but then I can also bonus action dash to get an extra 90 feet of movement. I can really go 270 feet around.
Holy shit. All right. On another note, I was looking up draconic words for for party names.
What do you got?
Ikstrat Harach is
What does that mean?
to disembowel fate.
All
next
right.
up. Beijing,
A strong contender.
right?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Ikstrat Harach.
And which
You're
one
gonna
was
have to
that?
spell that.
Does that disembowel fate?
To disembowel fate.
Alright, what's the next one?
The next one is a little bit of a thing, you know. Beijing, Erna,
And what does that mean?
savior of tomorrow. Right? Kind of
Hopeful.
uplifting. Next one is kind of like, I don't know. I will see about when our break is. I would imagine shortly.
We're just in between rounds now.
It's not up to me.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'll have to confirm. Asking about break time.
Oh, I just join Whispering, say, hey, when's break? It's probably right now, like, sort of.
I
This
mean,
is
it
effectively
seems like a nice stopping point. Maybe.
Well, really quick,
Maybe we
Nanan,
force break?
We could force. We could
Everyone
do
just
that.
leave?
If we're not here, it has to be break.
Yep, that's a good point. Although, Nanan, I would just sort, like, if I can catch up to you as you're storming out to go out.
Yeah.
Opal would like to do her darndest to keep you from leaving, if that makes sense.
I think I would not necessarily like leave actually the plan was to leave the castle and just kind of hang out in the air.
Mm-hmm.
But like not leave the vicinity necessarily.
Maybe just temporarily above ground.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, before you do that, because I honestly don't know how we get back above ground without dealing with those kobolds, and dealing with the kobolds solo, I don't necessarily know how well that goes.
I mean,
Oh,
we're on friendly terms. Yeah,
well,
we're on
I
friendly
think we
terms
are
with them.
sort of, but if you come back alone without, like, that might be questionable. But, I mean, of course, if you do that before I can catch up to you, you do that before I catch up to you. I guess that's kind
I am slow compared to you.
But you've also left a little earlier, and
You did. That's true,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Although it's a long tunnel, like all of these tunnels to get from like the main chamber to like either to here, or to, like that was like a 15-20 minute walk at least.
Yeah. I have no doubt you'll reach me by like before.
Yeah.
Topside.
Okay.
But
well,
on that note, sorry, the last thought for a name is Navaraki.
Which means
You're welcome.
that is such a what is that word? Arrogant party name.
I love it. Let's go with it.
We're the you're welcomes. It's like that might as well be. You should have called us sooner.
We fixed your problem. You're welcome.
I like that. That's really funny. How do you say that again?
Narviraki.
Narvaraki.
Narviraki.
Narvaraki. I like that. That's
What
funny.
can I say except Novaraki?
It flows off the tongue.
Do you know the Greek word for like rooster is kokoraki?
I love that.
Yeah, there's a
That, I think,
song that's
maybe.
like so the Greek have like the barnyard song, right, where like all the animals make the noises that the animals make, like with an oink oink here and an oink oink there, here an oink, right? That's like they have a version of that in Greek. It's about the kokoraki. Like it starts like I don't know the Greek words, but like essentially like the kokoraki goes
La
kikariki.
la cucaracha.
Oh, close. That's pretty close, except for it's kikariki. Uh, and then each of the like different animals and then like it's like one of those additive songs, so it's like the kokoraki, like it goes like the kokoraki kikariki da 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 da, and then it's like and then there's like the pig, and it's like the pig goes da 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 da, and then it's like the pig goes oh, or like oi oi, and then the kokoraki kikariki, and then it's like and then the ass says like hee haw, and the pig go
video.
"Oh,
I'm gonna be
oh,"
showing.
and then the kokoraki kikariki. It's like one of those like additive songs. It's so funny. I so recommend you listen. Let me see if I can find it because it's hilarious.
Let's
Honestly,
take
if we
a.
can clip this and turn it into a song, I would be delighted.
Hold on, let me
Let's
find
take. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't care.
break time.
But what I do have to say is let's take a 15-minute break here and return right at more like a 10-minute break, 15-minute break, 12:05. That's when we should return. See you
05.
all.
as you speak with 6 other unknowns from various parts of the
How's
interweb.
being a doctor going? How's being the smartest person I know going?
Terrifying. It's going terrifyingly. I'm sorry.
It better
Al.
be. You better like get my expectations up there. You better like I don't know. You got to cure cancer. I don't know.
No, we
You
keep low expectations. I'm not about to cure cancer. I'm gonna help people.
You got to
have
colonize
kids,
Mars. Colonize Mars. That's what
Yeah,
you're gonna
colonize
do.
Mars.
Fertility doctor or OBGYN?
I'm training to do IVF work, so not like a doctor, but PhD
Sounds like
doctor.
colonizing
So
Mars.
yeah, I do a lot of like the background stuff, and I'm
this, it looks like, based on this map, everyone but Zekian and Nefsis have left the forge.
Oh, Nemesis just came back to ask that question.
Opal ran to track down Nanan to be like, hey, don't leave. For real. Like, Zekian language is hard. Which I think is something that Nanan understands.
I'm just hanging out with Morana, and I see them like go by. It's like, oh hey, Nanan. Oh, okay, see ya. Oh, hey, Opal, bye. Okay, bye.
Yeah, and we basically have that conversation.
Oh hey, Gizmo.
Hey, Nanan.
How did you get up to me so fast?
Legs.
Opal's really fucking fast.
Yeah, we already went over to Zeke. Don't worry. 70 feet per round is nothing to scoff at. Yeah. I'm a cat. That's how. Fuck logic. I'm a cat. Look, I know things got kind of heated in there, but I would love it if
it is
you would
hot in
stay.
there.
Yeah, right. It is Mag.
Normally, I like warm places.
I would love it if you would stay with us.
Listen, I am with you. I am with Resta and the purple one and the red one and even the hot one. I do not like, however, being shackled to I help you, you help me. And then being this talked down to for those shackles that were put on me.
I know.
If he wants to do it by himself, if he sees no value in our help, then why help?
That is a great question, and all I could say to you is, again, and I'll say this again, but sometimes words are hard.
Words are very hard.
I know. And getting them right, words on their own are hard. Getting the right ones out is even harder. And as true as that might be for you, that's also true for Zekian, and that's also true for Selen. They say exactly what they mean.
But what they mean is heartful.
Sometimes.
And it does not put value on the people who have promised to help them.
Yeah, you're right. I can't say that you're wrong about that. But what I can say is that even when people say the wrong thing, that doesn't mean that we should abandon them.
But at what point do we put ourselves at a point where we will not be... I've spent my entire childhood being called bad names, being said that I'm worth nothing. I do not want to go back to those ways. I finally feel like I have people who actually see me. In this one, those two, they do not see me for the work that I do. They do not see you for the work that you do. Well, maybe you. But other people that I care about, they do not see the work that they do.
You're right. And I think I actually have a really good way to explain this, Nanan. The reason that during your childhood people did not see your value, you know why that was?
Because I am not pardon me, I've forgotten my draconic. Let me see. Sorry. I'm Trichomonarchy. I
And
am
what
nameless. I'm
and what's wrong?
clanless.
And what's wrong with that? It's the people that you were with didn't know you, right? They don't understand where you're from. They don't, you know, people in Emberwell, they trusted Martin, even if they didn't trust you, but because Martin vouched for you, they trusted Martin, and you as far as Martin could vouch for you, right? Not of your own. And the reason for that was not because you are unworthy, because they were ignorant of who you are and what you stand for and what you believe in, because they don't know you. The Fae,
Martin was kind to me, and because Martin was kind to me, the others were kind.
yeah, and that's a shame, because the others should have been kind to you for who you are, right? Or regardless of who you are. And in a similar way, Zekian and Dylan, they don't know you. They, you know, realistically, they have not taken the time to get to know you and to, to love you the way that we do. And that doesn't, it's a matter of ignorance on their part.
When I speak,
By the
you hear
same,
me.
yeah.
When I speak, Oresta hears me. When I speak underwater, the purple one hears me. Morana hears me.
Yeah.
The horned ones, they do not hear me even when I yell.
I know. And it's very hard for people from different places to recognize the intents and ambitions, hopes of people from places they don't fully understand. Just as we often struggle to understand where their motives really lie, they struggle in the same way to recognize ours. They may believe they know, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they do. Right? They've been wrong plenty of times. And in the same way we've been wrong about them. Yeah, and we've been wrong about their intents as well. And that's okay. Their intent is not to hurt you.
I want to believe your words because they come from you. In the same way, I have to believe their words because they come from them.
Yeah.
And they have, at every turn, said, I am for me, and you are for me. And once you are done working for me, then I am for me. They do not care about us. And my biggest anger so strange to me. I've never felt this. Never walked away from people that I care. I don't want to be shackled to my shield and then be told that I'm wrong for being shackled to my shield.
I know. It does lead to a higher question, because I understand and I agree with you. There's no reason for that, and we often are asked to make choices and sacrifices that go beyond what are necessary of us. Right? We don't, you don't, I don't, none of us have to pursue this path that we're on. But I think that in your heart, you know that what we are set out to do is the right thing to do, regardless of whether the people we're doing it with would support us in the same way that we are willing to support them.
Can I tell you a secret?
Always. And before you tell me, I'm going to reach out my hand for Nanan.
Your hands clasp.
Thanks God.
Okay. Oh gosh, my lizard folklore is slipping from me. Spirits scale.
All of a sudden, you feel suddenly less lizardy as you're holding this cat paw.
This fleshy, freaky,
Lizard brain
hairless.
deactivates.
Suddenly, you're feeling
The secret.
catty.
The curse has broken.
The secret. The spirit scale appeared. The one time. And he said that this path that we walk is the money at once for us. I want to do this for Simonia, for Spirit Scale, for Martin, and for you all. But whether it is in company with people who do not want me, that is the question.
And Nanan, that will always be your choice. I will never force you to stay with this group. I will hope that you will stay, but I will not demand that you do so. That will have to be a decision you make. But I hope that you'll walk with me back into the arms of this group that we have together.
I never wanted to leave.
I know.
And I won't eat you if you want.
I'm going to hug Nanan for like a solid minute and then try to, together walk back towards the rest of the group.
Yeah. As you all make your way down, you eventually return at your various paces to the central fortress of Castle Borlaban. And from here, the direction you go is up to you. Got a couple other place to check out, if you would.
Is it time to 6-int this?
Just a
Listen,
minute.
are we feeling good enough to 6-int this and go right to the Nutrifungus dome where we think that
I would like a long rest. Personally, I feel like my brain is about to explode. Thank you very much. I will leave the
Hey.
decision for the rest of the party.
How are you feeling, Nepsis?
I'm okay.
That's what I thought. This is what I mean.
Nanon, how you feeling?
He's gonna walk off after.
I think if one of us is wanting rest, we should rest. Regardless of anybody else.
Really quick, what is our timeline right now? Because this gas or whatever it is that we've got going on, or planar binding, I don't know what it is that we have. What is our timeline right now?
Like 8 more days?
Who's been
Sounds like a
keeping
month.
track?
It's like 3 days, I think.
No,
At
it's
most.
between. Yeah, it was
It's
10
only a
days
couple of
from
days.
whenever.
10 days
So the,
total.
yeah, 10 days for like the control of it rather than just like the sit and be still version.
Oh.
Let me look. You guys know the distance? I can
Yeah,
get it.
because it was.
I think we're at like 5 days is where I think we're at.
We did it before the boat.
Yeah,
Boat did not
the
take
boat was
too
not long. The boat was like a day, and we've been here for a day.
I can push.
Maybe I'm wrong. I'll leave it to Oog and Mook, but I thought we only had like 2 or 3 days left.
If we have 2 or 3 days left, we move on. If we have more than that, I think we have the time to take enough of a proper rest for the
Use a spell
parties.
slot. What level? 6th level? 10 days?
But yeah, 6th level because it had to affect the Bandersnatch.
Yep. 10 days.
Oh, wait. Opal, we are still holding hands. Are we not?
Oh, sorry, I have not moved my character. I've been thinking.
I can somewhat make do with a short rest.
Yep. We're going to put
I-
the 8th as the... someone marked down their notes. 8 is the date that the spell started for planar binding.
8 is the day?
The
Oh.
8. Yep.
What day? And we're
10.
what?
We're
So
on
it's
the
been
18th.
10 days.
I don't.
Someone's at the 8th. I
It's
swear
been 10
someone's at the 8th
days.
now.
It hasn't been 10 days because
Someone just
when
at
we-
the 8th.
the day that we got the Bandersnatch.
Someone,
and-
maybe me, just at the 8th. So it's the 8th.
Okay.
What day did you say? I thought someone said a day. It's okay. I can look.
Well,
Power of the
It's
archive.
been 7 days, not 8. I do know that
7 days.
because Morana, not even 7 days actually, because today's the 18th, and Morana talked to her patron like 2 days after, and she made a plan to call her back in a week, which would be on the 21st. So I guess the 21st would be 10 days.
Oh, so we are 3 days away. Jesus, I didn't
3
realize
days
we were
away.
so close.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, then we
More or
move
less,
on.
yes, that's right.
Then we
can we
move
take
on.
an hour?
Not only do we have to get the call, we have to get whatever whatever else she needs to fix it, and then whatever time it's going to take for Ezekiel to shape it and fashion it, and then dig it into the Bandersnatch. And like Scylla said, it would take her multiple days just to move an enchantment. So like,
Then
need to
we
go
move
now.
on.
we need to give her time. Yeah.
All right, I can
Question.
try.
Oog, that whole conversation in that other room started at 0, like at like midnight.
Yep.
Would you consider all of this conversation to be something that occurs during the course of a short rest?
Given the time frame,
Regardless
you guys
of
were-
the
yeah.
intensity of the conversation, like
You guys
this has
were
been
you guys
several
were
hours.
quite I was say you guys were quite literally talking for that many hours. So I think you guys could have been resting during that conversation if you think you would have been.
Oh, sick. I'll take it. That's all. I can deal
Sure,
with that.
Zeke was standing in front of a mine for a while, not interacting with anyone.
Oh, that's dope. Oh, hey, Nifsis.
Yeah.
We've been a little pressed, and I haven't really wanted to bring it up, but I've had ever since I came back to life, I haven't been as fit as normal, and I can't take as many blows. So maybe at some point soon, you could get like I think maybe Greater Restoration could fix that. Fixes a lot of things. Could probably might be able to fix that.
Yeah, we probably have enough for that, but then I think we lose out on a.
We don't have to do it today. Yeah, don't gotta do it today.
Oh, we already don't have enough for that. Never mind.
No, that's fine.
A quick revive.
A revivify specific.
What about all of these?
Zeke actually does have, and it's the one that he kept and then tried to use was about to try to use when Nefs is dead. I don't know if Nefs knows, but he does have one.
Oh, the diamonds that were in Nefs's inventory weren't.
We move on, and Opal's just going to start moving towards the Nutrifungus Dome entrance where there was that demonic thing.
Okay, I've got 2 of those dice. 4 of those. My shifting is back.
For us, we stay as close as we can.
I will try.
Without religion knowledge, would I be able to tell whether taking a cut with this axe will bind me to it in some more nefarious way than it has already forcibly bound itself to me? You're muted. I have no idea what you're saying.
Not gonna lie, Chief. You're already pretty bound to it. I don't know if it gets any better.
Okay, great. Then I'm gonna start hacking away at the perhaps during that short rest. I guess if I'm already that bound to it, I might as well fucking use it as my monk weapon.
Yeah, your dedicated weapon.
Isn't it a great axe?
Battle axe, I think, right? Or is it great axe?
Proficient?
Doesn't matter. I can become proficient with shit.
You can
right?
choose
No.
with your monk shit. You can.
You can turn a weapon that you're proficient with into a monk weapon.
Right,
Yeah.
so I'll turn this into a monk weapon, essentially,
Are you
right?
proficient with battle axes is the question. Are you proficient with the weapon in the first place?
No.
Then you can't make it a monk weapon.
You have to already be proficient with it?
It has to be a weapon that you have proficiency with. And you can get that through multi-classing, racial things, feats,
I can still use it even if I'm not proficient with it. I just don't have my proficiency.
You can swing a weapon you're not proficient with. It's just you can't use your monk features, so you have to use strength. You don't add proficiency.
It is a great axe. Martial melee weapon. Wait, it's a martial weapon.
It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything about being proficient with it. It is only that it must lack the heavy property, which great axe doesn't. So, moot
Great
point.
axe does have
moot point. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna fucking use the great axe to try to hack away at this shit.
But yeah, good to remember. Like, if it doesn't have the heavy property, you can dedicate weapon to it.
Okay, but this one does have the heavy property, so
it does.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm still gonna use it to swing at this shit to try to clear it.
Yeah, and with the axe swing, it fells, and the vines clear away as the blow connects.
And I will just proceed through.
That you do.
I follow. I guess we're doing
Those of you that do.
You must be proficient with it.
Huh.
It's right there in the thing you just linked. I have a pretty good idea about most things, but when it comes to monk, I'm very confident in my monk knowledge.
I have no knowledge.
I don't know what he linked, but I'm looking at dedicated weapon. I don't see anything about proficiency.
It's the second bullet point. It must meet this criteria. Must be a simpler martial. Must be proficient with it.
That's true. You got me.
And monks are not proficient with martial weapons by default whatsoever.
Well, great axe would did qualify it either way, so we got to the same result
Future
one way or
reference. If
another.
it was a battle axe,
Really quick, everybody, while we're in this Nutrifungus area, remember that we're looking for probably a path that leads under the Nutrifungus dome, maybe not necessarily directly to the Nutrifungus dome, which I'm basing off of my knowledge from reading that Braille tome that I found in that inner sanctum of the Temple of Thotham.
Is any of this
Which-
fungus dancing?
Not quite.
Sick. No enemy to worry about.
Does everything look like all clear? Any I don't know, weirdly glowing mushrooms?
May I make a
at
perception
the
check?
edge of the, at the edge
Okay.
of the
Guys, just let
but
Opal
at the
touch the floor. She can feel if there's anything under it.
I
at
will
the
do that.
edge of the your view
Can
here,
I-
you do
can I-
see a glass dome, and from that dome emanates greenish light that peers through the plants.
All right, really quick before we do anything, just as a reminder, this is what the writing said. This is written in Dwarvish Braille. The journal is inside the altar, containing a recounting of the various events of this high priest's life. One section seems particularly interesting. I've always been suspicious of Goldcrest and his motives for acquiring the role of ambassador with such fervor. And after watching him govern this hold, I see my suspicions were well founded. He thinks he has kept the level below us a secret to me, but I felt the passage underneath the Nutrifungus dome and investigated. There his crimes were clear, a shrine to his dead pet, surrounded by filthy orcish shamans attempting a profane ritual. These orcs, who had all but established a war camp just beneath our home, had dug a passage into the underway. Now the orcs can wander into these lands unimpeded by the humans in Orc Watch. It's only a matter of time before they infest these woodlands. I must get word back to Duan Kari and inform the High King before anyone can find out about this, else there be war between the River Kingdom and the dwarves once more.
So we're gonna have to fight a zombie dragon, is what you're telling me right now.
And possibly orc shamans. At which point I cast, or I activate my Earthen Elucidation using a key point.
I think it might be a Shadow Dragon by the time we get there.
And I'm going to essentially use that to attempt to detect within 60 feet of my person. 65 feet of my person. In
Near the
any
walls,
direction.
you sense a large, bulbous figure, one of incredible mass, kind of behind the walls and the foliage of the Nutrifungus dome.
Like in this area?
It's more or less right here.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm specifically looking for something underneath.
Mm. And just here, you do sense underneath the trapdoor is a staircase that goes down.
Like here, like beyond.
Yeah, right where
okay.
right where you're pointing.
I know where we need to go, and I'm going to just start leading us towards it.
Can I cast a quick detect magic just in case there's any?
I figured you would. Sort of thing.
What?
He's talking to Opal.
Oh.
After everyone started trying to do something to be useful. It's like, well, we got a person who, like, this is what they do, and they did it. Now I've got in.
There's not like any magical glyphs.
Yeah, there's a lot of magic in the area. But the most notable is that you sense a source of magic towards this foliage over here that you can brush through, as well as kind of over here. You sense some sort of enchantments kind of in that general area.
You guys, wait. There might be traps or something. There's
Hearing
magic.
that, Opal will freeze.
Okay, there's magic this way and that way. It's enchantment based, so I don't know. Isn't the collar we're looking for enchantment based?
Yep.
Okay, well, it's over here and over there, and I'll show them where.
Enchantments, the Mon stuff. That's the stuff the Fae are pretty big fans of. And
Can I
also the stuff
see-
that doesn't work on us.
Can I see like any footprints, any treads, any kind of indication that others have been here to lay traps?
Yeah, make a survival or investigation check.
Survival, motherfucker.
Can I make a perception check to perceive any non-magical traps, just like physical fuck you traps?
You see some thick roots sticking out of the ground, but that's about it there, Opal. But Nanan, scanning around the area, to see if anyone's been through here recently or any tracks of, footfalls or anything like that. You don't see anything. It seems like the most, recent arrival has probably been within, a few weeks.
Can I check out the one that I got right here? The ping.
Yeah, you sense an arcane aura underlying this position. Seems to be kind of affecting a lot of the roots in this area.
Fucking hell.
Marana, I don't recommend touching anything over there.
I definitely don't want to touch anything over there.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, it's on the roots of these funguses. And it's enchantment.
I'm not very knowledgeable about these things, but I think right now we keep focused. There is a door under, like, that goes underneath whatever this mass is over here.
Duh, we have a solution. I'll call the Bandersnatch in and make the Bandersnatch right here to cancel out whatever's going on, and we'll continue on our way.
What one's use for this snatch?
Everybody needs to find a use for the snatch.
Oh my god, it's so big, what the fuck?
Why is that snatch so big?
Oh my gosh, I've never seen a snatch quite like that before.
Look. Look at this gaping maw.
He doesn't have his light though. It's very
I'll
terrible.
give it the same instructions that I had last time to basically just make sure nothing sneaks up behind us.
I didn't want to. It's International Women's Day.
It is.
But
Talk about giant snatches and gaping maw. I know the references, but I can't think of anything except the fucking vagina monster or whatever from Super Troopers. Or no, not Super Troopers. What's the fucking space one?
Starship Troopers.
Thank you, Starship Troopers. Yeah.
Thank you. All I can think of is just the vagina monster. So now this is what the tank canonically looks like.
You have the Bandersnatch step forward and to the right side.
I wanted to try to get it in the middle to get both things, but maybe not.
It's only a 20-foot aura that probably wouldn't reach.
Up to you if where you want to put it and what direction you decide to go while it's put.
was it not still huge beast? Or
No,
large?
we've got
large.
A shrinking pill.
Oh yeah,
But wasn't it
did we
like
manage
enormous to
large?
It went from huge to large, I believe. But
we gave it 2 because I
might
only
have gave
had
it 2 pills because it's currently medium sized, and I didn't know why, but like I'm gonna assume it's because you gave it 2 pills.
Yeah, it's been fed 2 pills.
Okay.
I will put it. Wait, hold on. Let me just. Okay, I'll put it here.
All right, so it goes right there. And then where the rest of you go?
Opal's going to continue forward towards. So, okay, really quick. Is this a physical barrier right here, or is that a like there's like a post or like a fence or something?
There's this thick crystallized glass like substance in between you and the other side of that.
Oh. Does it feel like it extends far underground?
Like, is there a does the foundation of this dome go
Like
underground?
that glass, does that go does that go like beyond like a foot or two below the surface?
Yes, but it stops being glass. It starts being more solid construction as it goes underground.
Like stone or like
Stone and metal.
on the metal? Is the understanding that Opal will get from this that this isn't actually a passage, that this is just like an obstruction that needs to be gone
How far do you
around?
think? How's far your thing go underground?
It goes 65 feet, 15 passive.
Then you
and
do detect
55.
a passageway that goes underneath the ground, a little bit ahead of you and below you.
Right, so that's what I'm looking for. Right. You
There
said
is a
there was
passageway for sure.
Yeah. So the question is, how do I get to this passageway that you've told me exists?
Yeah, the opening is within the dome. Your choices would be go into the dome,
Yeah.
either through this passageway or finding another entrance.
So wait, there is a passageway over here somewhere?
You feel like a spiral staircase coming up right here.
Yeah. That's what I want to head to. So I want to head towards that way to get to this like passageway that goes underground.
Break the glass.
Well, I don't want to break the glass. I just want to go
I think
to the
I
other
kind
side.
of think that you guys are dancing around that you have to break the glass, unless Oog has another entrance in mind.
You can try to break the glass or find another entrance.
Oh. What do you think, everyone? Break the glass or try to find another way through the glass?
Why don't we want to break
Smack
the glass?
that glass.
Can we see these doors or?
Because
What's the point of the glass? There's got to be a
See
reason.
foliage that you could forge through on this side
I don't know.
and this side.
I do not know what the nutrifungus is. People far wiser than I likely sealed it. Whether it was to cultivate it or to protect the outside world from it, I do not know. In any case, there is a reason that it is sealed in this dome.
May I make a nature check about the nutrifungus?
I would like to second to that.
Do that as well.
Alakablam.
Intelligence based. Oof.
Finally!
Hey.
Nutrifungus is a crop that is very well utilized by species that live in the Darklands, also known as the Underdark, whom of which the shrooms in question are specifically nutritious and also specifically capable of growing without sunlight. That's the big nutrifungus qualifying factors.
Is there anything about nutrifungus that would require it to be sealed behind a dome?
The dome.
Does this
part of
nutrifungus
it-
seem weird?
The dome. The ones
Go,
that are
go.
growing out here is probably an extension of the nutrifungus, but the dome, from what you understand with the 22, is that the dome was probably used to speed up the growth of the nutrifungus, but that is probably the large purpose of the dome.
It's just a greenhouse, Opal. You can break it.
Can I look in the bush over by the Bandersnatch?
Yeah.
Snatch. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And you
We
can,
all know
see
where
there is
Murata had
a
that.
path through here.
I wonder if
there's
there's a bunch of crabs in here.
Oh, there's a door or path over here, guys. If you
It's a little overgrown, but there is a path.
I
don't
don't know
break
if
the
there are
glass.
any parasites in here. It seems quite lush.
Conditioned.
Somebody tell me where we're going. Are we going through the door or are we going through the glass?
Seems
Well,
grim.
do we want to break the glass, make a lot of noise, and just go for it, or do we
You
want
can
to?
close the door. You can't unbreak glass.
That's actually a fair point. That sounds like door to me.
Alright.
Also, if the glass is up, it's for a reason, and there's logically a way in.
All right, then let's do the door. Who wants to lead through the door? I'm
Oh
happy
man,
to do it.
this bush is thick.
Does it look like there are any footprints leading in one direction or another?
I don't have a lot of experience, but I
not
could work
many.
my way through a bush.
Doesn't look like footfalls have made their way through this area in some time, but there is disturbed ground where something has been shifting beneath the surface.
Beneath the surface.
What is that? Can I tell with like? Can I do some sort of survival check?
There's a deep tunnel off to the bush.
This would be more of a nature check, or yeah, that'd be probably nature check. Primal magic. It has something to do with primal magic, so nature check for sure. Hard to tell.
Is Cylin still badly injured, or did she take a short rest too?
She was too mad.
Too mad.
I don't know if
All
she
right,
took a short
well-
rest because you fucking blasted her with dissonant whispers.
Yeah, but that was like before y'all had your little.
It was like in the middle of it. Yeah.
So she's still like busted up.
She's a little fucked up.
Oh, wait.
That's the soot.
Zeke, and this party really cares about the well-being of Cylin.
Oh.
Yeah, I figured it was just the Fae in general.
We
Or
really
anything
do
more.
care about the well-being of the Fae.
Yeah, trust me, all of the Fae can feel it.
Good.
Got the good vibrations.
Wow, Murata really cares about Cylin. The fucking one.
I got
Wait,
a 5
is my,
before that.
Oh, okay.
Put your heart into it. Jeez.
Active? My beacon of
Oh,
hope would cover.
no, that would have been
No,
well
yeah.
over.
So
Yeah.
what is that? 10.
I would apply them all like individually.
15, yeah,
13.
15. I counted 15.
Oh yeah, you're right. There was 2 earlier.
Holy shit!
All right.
I'm so sorry. I thought you had
Opal
healing
continues.
That's alright. We got a
If
job
she
to do.
has healing spells, does she have any?
Nanon!
Yes.
Come here!
What?
This way!
Okay, we are
Through the
going
bush!
past the snitch.
Opal, you're here.
Through the
Oh,
bush. North
Down a
the
deep,
other
dark,
way.
damp tunnel.
Deacon, as you step here, you feel the ground begins to shudder and quake as the vines
Can I
underneath
sit or leap immediately?
spring forth. No! We're all initiative, but since it's like kind of right at our time anyways, we'll probably pick up this initiative at the top of next session as a dangerous vine jumps up at you and tries to strangle you. See what happens?
A strangle vine.
A strangling vine. Strangling, constricting power.
Perhaps it is trying to assassinate you.
Perhaps it is some sort of vine assassin.
It looks
Who
like
knows?
me.
The plants pop out of the ground and he's like, oh, hey, friends. And then they start attacking. He's like, really?
Oh, hi, you were sleepy in the last room. That's weird. But they are, in
Of all
fact,
people, you're going to try to
sleepy.
kill us, the druid? What are you doing?
Yeah.
We're like on the same team.
All right, everyone.
You, me, plants, we get along.
Have a good night,
That
Opal.
was a very RP heavy session, but very fun.
Yeah, we got into a lot of like RP, heavy RP